they got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXT Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Intex right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew. Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
It's about that time.
Let's get him.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
Triple kill. Shut down. Latte kill. Latte kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXT Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Intex right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew. Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
It's about that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
Triple Shut down. Quadra kill. Quadra kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXD Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past this street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill!
Intex right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew. Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
About that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadra kill. Quadra kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXD Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past this street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill!
Intex right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew.
Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
It's about that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXC Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramio in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And BXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe that they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Intex right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew.
Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
It's about that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXC Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramio in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for him.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the MCP Majors Season 2 Week 5. That's right folks, it's Week 5 so far and the teams are starting to run out of time to get those points to make it to the final stage as we are still currently in the league stage. My name is Dana Lee and of course joining me the wonderful Hauler. Welcome to the stream. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm excited here. We had a shakeup of the groups. We saw a huge amount of, turmoil and, disruption that was happening with all the different teams going into the different groups. But we saw two teams make it big last time with I think it was going to be Almighty. They moved up from 9th place into 6th place. They had a monster day with 61 points, the third highest play day of the entire MCP Season 2. Argon Malaysia, that's another one that scored 50 points the previous day. And so this is a team that's just ready to just kind of get into there. They're the 14th place team and they're not going down without a fight. They need to get into that 12th spot. So Argon Malaysia, this is another team on the rise. You got to look out for those guys.
So I did the math for the teams. They technically have 16 matches left because they play 4 matches per day. We've got 4 more days to go. So 16. It's a pretty big deal as well because essentially what happens now is that if the teams sort of fumble at this point of time, it almost feels like it might be the point of no return. And especially for the teams that are currently towards the lower end of the bracket who are trying to race for that 12th spot. So if there's a time to really pick it up, it's going to have to be starting this week. I don't think it's going to be enough if you only play well for the final week of the league stage, right?
And I think mathematically, not 100% eliminated, but I think at this stage, you have really no room to maneuver, right? We're seeing that some teams, they can get a little bit of a head start, but the other teams still get points at the end of the day, right? They happen to get kills. They also end up getting some placement points. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for those lower end teams to really make a move right here. But if we're looking at the prize pool distribution, this is going to be in the league stage. This is for all 18 teams that did participate. First place is going to be 2,000, second 1,800, third place is 1,600, and so forth. But the biggest thing is, of course, you want to get in the top 12 because that will give you a chance to go to the grand finals, which is going to be the big dance, and that's where all the real money's at. But what do you think about that?
I love how you say it's real money when you make it to the final stages. It's as if they're currently competing for Monopoly money.
Yes.
No, folks, this is not Monopoly money. This is still real money. Okay, you can buy things with whatever they win here. It's just that, of course, at the end of the day, everyone's trying to go for that final prize, right? Like $15,000, which we're going to show a little bit later on. But that's a lot of money, especially for Southeast Asia, because for us, right, USD, we have to times it by 3-4 times. It depends on what country they're coming from, but it's a lot of money for us. So here we go, $15,000 for first place. If you don't make it first place, you get a little bit less than half of first place. It's still something, but at the end of the day, this is a lot of money that the teams are currently playing for.
Okay, fine. It's not Monopoly money, but at the end of the day, you want to be playing for this money. This is the prize pool that you're looking for, right? So, and this is the crazy part about this is that once you do get into the top 12, the slate is clean, right? In the sense that everyone starts from scratch. It doesn't matter what you did in the past. It's all about making sure that you have that really good grand finale right there, which is going to get, of course, the first place is 15,000. That's the real money that I'm talking about, okay? Everything else is Monopoly money, at least in my eyes.
In your eyes. Okay, fair enough. Oh, goodness. All right, so moving on, just going to remind people, this is our point system that we're currently running with. First place, if you manage to get the booyah, you get 12 points. Second place, 9 points. And then as you go down, you will get less and less points. If you unfortunately end up being in 11th or 12th place, you won't get anything in terms of points. You'll be relying solely on your kill points, which as you can see on the bottom, well, 1 kill equates to a single point, and we have seen some teams be able to utilize the kill points to avoid finishing the round with an absolute 0. So kill points are equally as important, or if not more important than placement points, depending on the team's play style as well. We have to take that into consideration that for some teams, placement points are more important. For others, kill points are more important right now.
Yeah, and I think that you're going to have to go with kills. You need to make sure that, hey, placement points can be kind of random and lucky at times. You definitely want to try to get as many kills as possible. So I think that we're going to see teams really turn it up because they're going to realize that, hey, we're fighting for that elusive 12th position. We need to ensure that we do get those points. We need to be better than on the other teams. We need to take the fight to them. I think that you're going to see a little bit of a, aggressive start to the day just to kind of see where teams are kind of at. And then maybe things will just settle down once people realize or they get comfortable getting a certain amount of points. And then they'll be okay just kind of maybe playing a little bit passively throughout the day.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we have to take into consideration the teams, how confident they feel going into skirmishes, because we have to also understand that some teams are ultimately better at skirmishing than others. Some teams are very good at getting placement points. They're very good at traveling through the map, avoiding conflict. Others, they love that conflict, but then to their demise, they get knocked out for it, unfortunately. I think that's just the downside of playing aggressive as well. Speaking of which, though, this is going to be the schedule for today. We're back on my favorite map, Kalahari. That's going to be the first map for all of our groups. And then once they've completed Kalahari, then Purgatory will be the deciding map for these groups.
And it's going to go to Purgatory, one of my favorite maps, and that's going to be the good one. And I like the contrast between the two. You're going to see different playstyles throughout. But we're going to start this one off. It's going to be 1 p.m. for Group A versus Group B, and that's going to be the Kalahari one. And now, if you're going into Group A versus B, this matchup, what was the team, aside from a Supreme Assault Forces, which we've talked to death about, but what is another team that really stuck out to you, at least from the last weekend on?
Goodness. No, seriously, I think it's just SAF.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Just because this team is... If you watch how SAF play, I know last week we did see them sort of fumble around, especially with getting knocked out by some unlucky grenades, but the team fundamentally has a very solid base to work with. Their gunfire is fantastic. You can see that their decision making when it comes to moving around the map is also fantastic. These guys also have a really solid idea as to where they like to drop. I don't think we've seen many situations where SAF drop with many other teams. They always find they play their own game. And I really like this because we did interview them. They do admit that they decide to play their own game rather than focus on the competition. So it's just, I don't know, SAF, they're so solid. Even on a bad day, it's technically a really good day for any other team.
All right, so we're going to see Group A, which has become the group of death. They have 3 teams that are in the top 5 right now: Blacklist International, Fast Kill Malaysia, and PXG Radicals. Those are the teams to watch in Group A. Group B, of course, we've talked about Supreme Assault Forces. This is the monster that, this is the elephant that nobody can deal with at this point. But again, you got to look at the other teams. Freedom Rumble are kind of in the running. Argon Malaysia, this is a team on the rise. I really like their chances going into this weekend. Group C, of course, is going to be AKO Legend. They didn't have the greatest weekend last week, but it looks like there's some other teams in there that can kind of hopefully pick things up, with Z Squad also having a pretty good weekend last week.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see if Blacklist and PXG are going to be able to play better this week. To a degree where they should get more points than SAF, because we have seen SAF not fall off, but they've slowed down in terms of the number of points that they're getting. But even then, they're still almost 100 points over the competition. They're just a little bit over a little less than 100 points in front of PXG Radicals. But I mean, I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to get 100 points plus whatever SAF is getting for the next 2 weeks.
Right. And if we're looking at this standings right now, the overall standings, it's going to be 1st through 9th. I think that Woos is actually safe. I think mathematically they're fine. I think that you're going to see the race for 10th, 11th, 12th, those 3 teams trying to make it into the grand finale. It's going to be Freedom Rumble, Bloodyhead, Metrics, Do Easy, Argon, and even Z Squad. I think that those are the teams that have a real chance at making this. Mind you, there's no room for maneuvering. Any sort of mistakes at this point, you need to ensure that you get in, have a strong weekend, or else, unfortunately, you're going to be going home and just earning Monopoly money.
Yeah. Actually, there's a team I do want to talk about down here I'm worried about, and that's Freedom Rumble. So even though they're currently sitting in 10th place right now, they have had a very questionable run, minus the very early stages of the league stage. So I'm worried that if they don't pick it up for the next today and next week, they might even lose their top 12th placing.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. I mean, they've done okay in terms of points. They scored 15, 23, and 34 last week in that order. So they're kind of on the rise, but the 15 is the biggest worry, right? Like, how can you be so inconsistent where, you know what I mean, you're having such a tough time just trying to make it into this one? I thought Freedom Rumble were locked into top 8, and they might not even make it into top 12. Like, that's very surprising to me.
Exactly. So if anything, we've also got to keep an eye on Freedom Rumble. I'm hoping this team's going to be able to pick up their feet because I'm not sure what's happened. Maybe the groups messed them up. But then again, they did really well during the first half of the season with their original group. But this group looks like a completely different monster. It might be a bit too overwhelming for the team to deal with because realistically speaking, I think they did get the short end of the stick in terms of their grouping.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here are the teams to watch. We talked about Supreme Assault Forces, the 92 points or so above second place PXG Radicals here with, a little bit of a gap at 26 points against Blacklist International, which is going to be the third place team here. I think these guys are fine. They can, play a little comfortably, maybe just mess around a little bit this weekend, maybe give the other teams a little bit of a chance. But these guys are definitely guaranteed in the top 12. They're going to be making it on. But again, just look out for these guys because these guys will kill everybody.
Yeah. Also, there's a nice little race I think we should be keeping our eye on, and that's going to be for second place with PXG and Blacklist. So last week, I do believe Blacklist overtook PXG, but then PXG just had some really good rounds, and they were easily able to take that second place back. I think the English panel, it's not just us, all of the English casters. I think the question all of us are still wondering is this all that we're going to get from Blacklist? Because yes, they're currently sitting in second and third place, but we haven't had any days where we were just like, whoa, Blacklist, amazing. It's all just been very average. So we're all wondering and questioning whether this team has any more to give. Maybe they're saving it up for the final stage. As we said earlier during the season, that teams are probably saving strats. They're saying, okay, the small money, we don't care about the small money. We're going for the big money. Let's save our strats for then. Or is this just a case of the team experimenting with something? We don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had like a monster day of 58 points one day and then like 23 in the day 8 like last time. They just kind of struggled with that, right? But that said, we're also going to be giving a giveaway. This is going to be free skins that we're going to give to you. All you need to do is just pay attention to the stream. We're going to be having a code. You can take that code. It's not a first come first serve basis, but it's just a matter of everybody gets to redeem it. So make sure that you do take a screenshot of that code, and all you need to do is make sure that you do it by the end of the stream today. That's the only stipulation.
So make sure you stick around and get the code. Don't miss out, okay? If you're too late, too late. It's not my problem. We're already giving away free goodies. All right, so our first map of the day is going to be Kalahari. And we've seen a lot of teams just struggle with this map in general. A lot of it comes down to where you drop, praying that no one's waiting for you on the high ground in the center of the map. Another thing to take into consideration is teams just not seeing you in general because the map is just so wide and open and big. You don't really have too many places to hide in, minus just all the compounds that litter the map. So the question today is, who's going to be able to dominate Kalahari? And I think also something we also need to talk about is what's the flight path going to be? Because we've seen certain flight paths absolutely destroy teams.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be very interesting in terms of how they want to deploy it, but we're going to find out soon enough. This is going to be Group A versus Group B. This is going to be match 1. It's going to be AJ and Beef Mommy. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Holla Beef Mommy. Welcome right back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is the Beef Stachio combo on the MCP Rages Season 2. Happy to have you back, Beef.
I miss casting with you, AJ, and thank you so much, Danny and Holler, for that amazing introduction. As you all know, we have a very spicy matchup for today. I mean, every single day. It's been absolutely amazing, and AJ, casting with you again, this is going to be absolutely lit.
Oh, absolutely right. And welcome back to the conversation of how I still disagree with production. Production keeps telling us to watch out for SAF. Production keeps telling us to watch out for PXG, Blacklist International. We know that we have to watch out for them. Those 3 top dogs are sitting down up there, Beef, and they are looking down upon everybody else. Here's who I want to look out for today, right? We have got Freedom Rumble, Bloody Heads, as well as Metric sitting down in the 10th, 11th, as well as the 12th spot. And we have Do Easy and Argon MY, who have come out of nowhere all of a sudden performing in these past weeks. And I feel like, there's a little bit of a fire in their belly as well as under their butts, Beef, that's making them work a little bit harder because we only have 2 more weeks left in here.
Absolutely. So it's really the teams that are at the 10th and 17th spot that kind of have to be in a little bit of a pickle here because they have so much points to actually gather with only 4 days left to qualify. So again, Argon MY has been an absolutely crazy team, really just climbing from the 18th spot, going even as far as 14. So climbing up those 4, that is going to be easy for them. 2 left for them to actually go and clarify. So, you know what?
Yep.
One team in the competition, and Nigmax obviously is not going to be here in this competition anymore. So, one less team to really just worry about, AJ.
Absolutely. And you see, Z Squad, that is the one team that I've left out of the equation. Shown us all of those crazy, crazy gameplays that we were getting in the first couple of weeks, albeit not much of consistency from them. The bad C word comes out yet again. But maybe if they can make a comeback today, if Z Squad can show us a little bit of those spicy plays, Beef, they might stand a chance. But it all depends on whether or not, once again, Freedom Rumble, Bloody Head, as well as Metrics do not perform, or they do come in here and perform, because catching up to that spot, it also means that these 3 dogs sitting down there comfortable in the top 12 do not lose their points.
Absolutely, and it really just boils down to those individual gunfights that they actually go into win. And for Zeth, it's really just Lavitz, I think, that actually gets a lot of those points. And yes, apart from the very amazing SAF team, right, McRory getting 86 kills, it's actually him, it's Lavitz that gets 33 kills to his name, the most out of his team. So if Zeth really wants to pull through, kind of like Wills, it's Embler that really gets that, but then a really early engagement here in the command post.
Oh, absolutely. And these are 2 of the teams that I said we need to watch out for, right? Freedom Rumble as well as Bloody Head. And this is the sticky situation. You catch each other in these early drops. It's either kill or be killed. And so far, Freedom Rumble doing a damn good job getting all of those kills, Beef.
Freedom Rumble already with a very good start, 3 kills for their team. Now, what they have to do next is to really just position themselves early enough and really not go for the engagement. Bloody Head's Mark, though, he's going to be in a little bit of a pickle just because of how much time he has left to just go and hide. He's the only person left. Morgana usually is the one that can actually go and clutch it up, but Mark usually has very impressive sniping skills, so hopefully he's at a very good point right now to really just get that high ground, play passively, and hopefully get placement points.
Yeah, absolutely. And it all depends on Mark. Bloody Heads, they need to continuously grab these points, but they are not in a situation where they cannot afford to drop 1 round, right? Because as Danny has very rightfully pointed out, we have got 16 more rounds. Those are a lot of Battle Royale matches, Beef.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like a lot of rounds where you can go and pull through. And for Mark, he can actually make a W for his team. Just placement points, yes, and maybe even pick off the teams that he comes across already like 2 people down. So he has a lot to actually have here. The pressure is on his shoulders for his team. And we already know that Bloody Head is in a little bit of a weird situation where you are at 11th place, but you shouldn't be too careful. They need to be careful because if you drop 1 map or 2, you might just find yourself in that 13th spot. So speaking of a team that has been doing a little bit good, Will seem to be like they're at a very comfortable spot, especially if you see Embler absolutely popping off. We keep seeing it early games. If he gets a lot of kills, it's very likely they actually go and get the booyah. So if they place themselves well here, then hopefully they do get that again.
Oh, absolutely. And just like Views, here's another team that has been performing really well recently. Almighty, sitting down in that 6th position, they have most definitely surprised me, Beef. I did not expect them to step it up towards the end of the league stages in here. But they, from making so many silly mistakes, they all of a sudden seem so strong. So that brings me to the question, is this the team that was hiding all of your strats? Not, just purposely showing some weaknesses so teams would underestimate them in fights? Because in the recent weeks, they have been absolutely untouchable.
You're right about that. And with Almighty, they have been having a lot of questionable pushes just because they do great in the early game. They get a lot of frags, yes, but then they kind of pay for it at the very end just because usually they lose around 1 person or 2 people. So it's going to be very hard if they become a little bit too aggressive like what they've been doing the past weeks. But like what they said a while ago, Almighty really just topped off in that final day that we had last week, climbing from the 9th to the 6th spot. That is a lot. And that will definitely give them that confidence. They should keep doing what they did last week and apply it here, especially if you are going up against Blacklist International. So speaking of, we're taking a look at this team. They really do good in Kalahari. They've had so many booyahs here already, so this is their hometown.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Almighty, as easy as it was to improve in a couple of games and climb up the leaderboards, it's gonna be as easy as that to drop those rankings as well. Because apart from the difference in points between PXG Radicals as well as Supreme Assault Forces, which is 92 points right now, every other team, they just need to have one really good round, in comparison to the ones that are above them, right? Because you get about 15, you get about 20 points, you're immediately taking one step higher on that leaderboards. And it's all you need. 16 games, once again, a lot of opportunities. And if there's anything, the gods of RNG might just be helping some of these teams who have managed to learn those drop zones. Because apart from that Freedom Rumble and Bloody Heads engagement that we just saw, none of these other gunfights have broken out, Beef.
It's a pretty passive gameplay, like you've been saying, and this is what we expect here in Kalahari, obviously, but then there are some teams that just get eliminated so early on, but after that, there's just silence, just dead silence right now. But speaking of, it just seems like Bloody Head, Mark is gonna have a hard time. The full squad of Wiz is actually gonna be coming in to greet them right now.
Oh, absolutely, man. And I don't think this is going to be very good for the side of Bloody Heads. Mark going to get caught out here. Ambalore really close. And once this guy he spots Mark from the back. And now Mark just has to run away. This is a 2-on-1 situation. I don't think Mark has much of an opportunity. He jumps away. And 50% of his HP drops. But he still manages to take out Alforte. He kills Alforte. What a delete by Bloody Heads, Mark.
Mark is doing what he's supposed to do. Choose your gunfight. He knows very well there were two people coming up for him, so he drops down, even getting a little bit of HP because of that drop, but then he takes out Alaforte. Now Wills, they're gonna be in a little bit of trouble right now. Having one person down is gonna be absolutely essential. They don't know what hit him, and the best part about this, they might not even know that Mark is going to be the only person left. They probably expect there's going to be a full squad greeting them, so for now, Mark needs to get away. He's hiding for now, yes, but you can see right now on the top left part of the map, Blacklist International is about to make an appearance.
Yeah, they are literally just one zip line away, and on the top right-hand corner, we can also see Do Easy, who are aiming to climb up the leaderboard. Do Easy, who are 10 points away from Metrics, who sit down in the 12th position. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, even the first matchup in here, the 16th final match, I guess we could call this, is absolutely lit. A lot is on the line, especially for those teams who are at the bottom trying to squeeze in to the top 12. Now, this is that squad. Do Easy with Bayet, iPad, Shah, as well as Jembal. Are they going to be able to take these snipes across? Because they're not even going to go in here for the zipline push, and they drop right in front of Fuse, and Balore there to invite everyone into his house, but he gets taken down. Fuse gets eliminated, and this is Do Easy climbing up the leaderboards, Beef.
Do Easy is a completely different team, and they just keep shutting down every single team that they come across. Mind you, Do Easy is having a hard time in the beginning at that 13th spot, but you know what? They want to get into that 12th position, and Wills eliminated so early on, and it really just came down to one person from Bloody Heads. But here we go, Freedom Rumble going up against Saf, the top dog of this matchup.
Oh, it's going to be already going in for the backstab. Beautiful knock onto Let's Go. These are the teams that we need to keep our eyes on. McRory, what a response with the time turner. Knocks Orin onto the ground, but he's picked right back up. Now McRory on the ground. Can Forbes turn things around? Cobb's going to be asking these questions. And Forbes, he has to abandon this fight. He drops away. And looks to go out right back to the lobby. And Freedom Rumble, they look to stand in the 10th position, not allowing anyone to creep up on them, Beef.
What? Do Easy eliminates Wales. Freedom Rumble eliminates Saf. This seems to be like it's a Freaky Friday for me, just because of how well the teams in the bottom are just absolutely delivering. And this is what we expected nonetheless, because it is do or die for them. But speaking of another battle, it is Do Easy up against Blacklist International. They seem to be like they're going to be in trouble, but it's a good thing for Do Easy. They do have the upper hand of getting
Yeah, they do have the upper hand of the high ground as well as the grenade launcher. Remember how they snuffed Views out of this equation. And now, Do Easy looking for another opportunity. Blacklist International, these snakes, they are right under the covers. Are they going to be able to catch Do Easy off guard? Will Mark be able to take a couple of kills from afar and sneak off a couple of points for his squad as well? Beautiful time turner as well as the glue wall from Baez right now. But it's a 3-on-1 situation and he will need some of that backup. Oh, gets knocked onto the ground.
Shah goes down and he needs to go in for the pickup. And Baez taking a lot of shots as well. That's going to be very tricky for them. As you can see here, Blacklist International, this is their playground. So they know this map so well. Jembel getting takes as well. It's iPan. It's all up to him, but he has 0 kills. So it's going to be very hard for him to...
Oh my
One
god.
person going down already. Triple kill from Baez. This is absolutely just crazy. It seems like it's opposite day right now.
Oh, absolutely. These are the eyes you have to keep. These are the teams you have to watch. MCP Majors Season 2. That fire has been lit in those little bellies. Yeah, boy. You shake that off. You do that strut, Jumbo. You deserve it. Do Easy. Hunting for that 12 spot beef. And I don't think they want to breathe easy anytime soon. Mark was just waiting for that opportunity from the side of Bloody Heads to sneak off a couple of kills, but smart plays from the guy. He does not make any noise. And now, Team Fast Kill going up against Metrics. These are the two teams. Metrics needs to maintain their composure. They've done well so far, but bad plays from last week. If they are able to maintain their gameplay, they maybe can keep their 12 spot beef.
This is just absolute chaos, and I love to see it. Met now needs to get all these points. They are at the 12th spot, so that's not going to be comfortable. No siree. 225. That's just a little bit of points left. Do Easy really wants to climb up the ranks, but as they are going to be taking some shots, they are going to deliver as well, maybe even going in for some cover. So they... You know, we're going to be backing off of this situation. Knowing very well, going up in those bones, not going to be for them. But taking a look at that, look at the kill feed. Freedom Rumble doing a lot of damage. You know what, Musashio? I'm taking my eyes on Freedom Rumble and see for this round.
Oh, absolutely, man. I think that these teams are just going to be popping off all the way towards the end. Now, Metric's going to have a really huge challenge in the form of PXG in front of them. We take a quick peek at Freedom Rumble, the team that is sitting down in the 10th position so far. 7 kills, just like Do Easy. These two teams. And now, Argon MY, the team that is trying to struggle, the team that is trying to get up into the top 12 as well. They picked 0 kills up, but it doesn't matter. 16 rounds, just like what Danny has mentioned already. And now, Almighty losing Ren, Argon, X2 are stealing that kill away from Do Easy. But it doesn't matter, my friends. It doesn't matter, because as long as Do Easy as well as Argon MY survive this and move on into that final circle, both these teams have gotten exactly what they want, B.
AJ, Mark is still getting kills. That is just so impressive to me. He's just like, wait, Mark is still alive. Mark is actually picking off kills like a vulture, just really quietly like a ninja. That is probably the best play of being the only person left here. Metrics being eliminated already. Tanamo with the amazing nade. PXG, they've been so amazing with their utilities, with their grenades. You see Raymil, you see Tanamo just raining grenades all over the place. They look solid right now. 4 kills to their name. That is not going to be a lot, but they're just playing position right now, which is the smartest thing to do. Bloody Head also being eliminated. Jay-Z going to be the person for that.
Mark's my MVP, my personal MVP for this lobby. Crazy plays by the guy, crazy survival, and finally gets taken out in that 7th position. I mean, that was a game absolutely well played by that brother. It's gonna be Freedom Rumble once again. 7 kills in the end. Oren manages to get the delete onto me as well. Oren gets yet another knock. Sparks now going in for the delete. Will Oren be able to do it? Sharp gets the delete on his behalf. Freedom Rumble onto the 8 kills so far. Ali goes in for the knock on Pedro. Baez finishes him off. Do Easy and Freedom Rumble. Let's get into that final zone beef.
PXG Radicals already on the back door for Freedom Rumble. They're going to be in trouble, but they do know where every single one of these players are. But Freedom Rumble so far, they've been doing so great. Every positioning is perfect. They just choose their gunfight so well, and they're going to be a full stack. But if you are going up against PXG Radicals, that is not going to be easy. There's also one person left for Do Easy as well. Argon already eliminated. Sucks for them, but you know what? Do Easy as well. We can see so much Do Easy not having a very easy time here, and it's just down to 4 teams already.
Yeah, Freedom Rumble now taking the fight up against PXG. A very well-calculated fight. Beautiful movement coming in here from Apam. Backs away in the nick of time. Almighty gets eliminated, and now 3 more teams will remain. Freedom Rumble, PXG, as well as, I believe, the team of FSK from afar. Now, FSK, the biggest winners in this matchup because they have got the open fields, but nobody is taking a look at them because the players from PXG a little bit too close, and Tanamo gets yet another knock. Orin gets knocked down onto the ground, but Ali steals the kill away. Very, very salty these players will be feeling. But no, FSK, they do not care. 5 kills in the bag, and they still are going for more. Apam's gonna get taken out by the blue zone. Cops now, with just the glue wall in front of him, gets knocked down. Barba, what a snipe. And now it is Team Fast Kill going up against PXG. These 2 top dogs, will they be able to take each other on? Tanamo, his nades, he's got 2 more in his bag. He's gonna go in here for the poppy.
Here we go, and it's going to be absolutely crazy here. Barba trying to take shots, but doesn't quite get a quadra kill for Tanamo. That is a big kill for him. Now, to actually go in and clutch this round. PXG Radicals is eliminated. Ali takes the last. Why, with the amazing positioning, really knowing very well where to go, pays off at the very end. Monito, Yoon, they've been so great for their team, and look at those. The first matchup of the day.
Oh, I love it, man. Fast Kill MY. You know, everybody knows I'm a little bit of a fanboy, Beef. But before we continue this conversation, let's bring our host Danny as well as Holler right back in. Welcome back, guys.
Oh,
That was a crazy game. I don't think anyone expected SAF to get eliminated 10th. Blacklist was 9th. Like, what just happened in the beginning of this? Kalahari, who got caught off? Nobody seemed to be prepared for this one.
Once again, I keep telling people, right? Stop looking at the top dogs. The top dogs, it's not like they're doing very bad, but they don't have enough of that fire. 2 types of fire. In their belly, below their butt. And now the teams at the very bottom of the leaderboards, they want to scratch and claw their way up to that 12th position. And Metrics doing really badly in that spot. I think Do Easy might have been able to sneak in to that 12th position just with that 1 match alone.
I think it also depends on the rest of their performance
I
for
think the
today,
Freedom
right?
Rumble was another one. I mean, this is a team that was completely on a tear, just destroying everybody. And I think that once they got eliminated 3rd, Fast Kill and PXG were kind of like, okay, thank God those guys, the Terminator is out of the game. Everyone else has a chance. But I mean, what were they doing? This is Freedom Rumble. They seem to be on another level today, Beef.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen like what AJ said, scratch and claw their way up the top. It's the teams from the 10th all the way up to the 17th. Got to be. They want to be part of that 12. Just because it's only the last few days. We have 4 days left, including today, to really just pull through all of the points. Bloody Head didn't really quite get there, but Mark being that person for them, like what AJ said a while ago, he's the MVP for me. He ended up being 7th. Very well could have eliminated very, very early on, but he delivered. Not only did he deliver with the positioning, but also he got some points as well with the kills.
Actually, there's a team I do want to talk about, and I think we did highlight them during the beginning of the show as well. It was Freedom Rumble, right? We had some doubts because they didn't play so well last week, but these guys really woke. I don't know if it was either the team woke up, or they're pulling out some new strats, or they're just thinking, okay, today's a really good day. It just made me wonder, if they didn't get ganged up on by Fast Kill MY and PXG Radicals, could they have gotten the booyah that round? Because they looked poised to take that game with how they approached the late game.
High probability, right? It's just the gods of RNG, going in there, sticking their noses where it just doesn't belong sometimes. But, at the very same time, it can just be said that Freedom Rumble just did not make those right decisions moving into towards that safe zone, right? It's all about how you play your positioning on Kalahari, and like we have seen, it's not very impossible. Blacklist International tried to play the same position that they usually play. They took the high ground, but unfortunately, on the way there, they got snuffed out. So, I just feel like, once again, it falls back to who wants this more. And Freedom Rumble, they are a team that knows for a fact that they cannot take teams like Do Easy, Argon MY easily. Metrics might be fighting for their spot as well. And they're going to very easily get kicked down towards that 13th or 14th spot. So if Freedom Rumble does not continuously step it up match after match, bye-bye they go.
Yeah. And we're going to have to see how it goes. I mean, this is the standings that we saw. I mean, Fast Kill Malaysia, they got their booyah, but they got 9 kills as well. Do Easy with 9 kills. I don't know if you counted that many, but there were quite a few from that one. Freedom Rumble, though, this is the team that was nobody really wanted to mess with these guys. 8 kills, you know what I mean? PXG was 6. I mean, all of the teams are really showing up today. Almighty, though, with only 2 and Bloody Head with 2, which is a little worrying. They need to kind of pick it up as the game goes on.
Yeah,
Actually, we're going to give a kudos to Mark for Bloody Head, because he did a fantastic job surviving that round just because the rest of his team got eliminated so early on.
Yeah, he got extra 4 points for his squad. Apart from the 2 that they got from the kills, that was all based on Mark's Bloody Head and all of that brain that he has got in that head, right? Absolutely love his gameplay. It's the game of patience. Sometimes you see, players, there's just one final player in there and they jump into a 3-way and they get outnumbered, and it's such a waste of all of the time they tried sneaking around on the battlefield. And this time, Mark, he just didn't play it in that way, man. I'm so excited, guys. The first match in itself, I am absolutely pumped for today.
We've still got one more round for these teams as well, and it's going to be on Purgatory. I know, Hola, you really enjoy this map. I actually want to ask you, what do you feel like makes Purgatory so different compared to Bermuda and Kalahari? Like, what do teams have to do to adapt to Purgatory that doesn't apply to the other 2 maps?
I think it's similar to Bermuda, right? Purgatory and Bermuda, Bermuda. Okay, all right. But those two maps are kind of similar in the sense that they're smaller scale. They're, the action happens a little bit sooner, right? For me, I don't want this story where, you kind of saw it. Well, it was a little different in Kalahari where the kills were happening early, but generally speaking, it tends to be like kind of like you're building the ambiance, building up the characters, you're telling the story, and then all of a sudden in the end, the mass murders happen. At least that's usually what happens in Kalahari. Now, the other ones tend to be the action happens faster, and I kind of like that throughout. I like that typical pace that's going to go out where every team is just looking to kill out one another right away.
I'm super nervous every time Danny starts to ask a question, right? And I think she's going to throw it to me because I feel like I'm back in school and I'm the kid who does not know any of these answers to these questions. But well played, Holla. I love your answer, man. And I think that's exactly where those differences are. And what's going to be making the biggest of differences in here today, Beef, is going to be how much bigger that fire starts to burn. Because now, Metrics is definitely feeling the heat already. Do Easy most surely replace them in the top 12, and if Metrics does not start stepping up, what Freedom Rumble knew could happen to them is going to continue happening to Metrics in here today, Beef.
Like what you said, it's going to be the 2 types of fire, right? And I feel like when it comes to Metrics, it's that fire under their bum that needs to keep igniting. 2 points for them to go and take over Do Easy, so it's very easy for them to do that. Absolutely give them a hard time, especially with that banger of an opener that we actually had here. And Purgatory seems to be like a map that they actually want to do that with. And I'm really hoping for a final circle that would be in the middle of the water. Hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed here.
Hey. Why haven't I heard any Katy Perry jokes yet? Holla, what's going on, man?
We're kind of like warming up to it, all right? It's going to happen. You're just going to have to wait for it. Of course, this is going to be match 2. This is going to be Group A versus B. AJ, Beef Mommy, please take it away.
Hey, thanks, buddy. All right, Beef, let's see exactly where these drop zones are for all of these squads. Any of the teams trying to take a close quarters combat early on, it does not look like that is the case as they spread out quite evenly out on that battlefield. Freedom Rumble, a little too uncomfortably close with Almighty there. But apart from that, I do not see any close engagements. Views, very interesting tactic with this drop. I think that guy's lagging and he's got disconnected or something.
Oh, that is just so unfortunate, lagging all behind there. But you know what? If they actually go and drop this map, we already know it's probably going to be the one that got away. And you know what? I hate you, AJ, for just reminding Holler of that Katy Perry references. I'm sick of it. No, I low-key actually really enjoyed my time over there. But you know what? Today, hopefully we get to put as much references as possible just for
Yeah.
Holler, just for you, BB.
Yeah, because most of these teams they blow hot and cold sometimes, and I just want them to
Yeah,
just bring in the
absolutely,
consistency,
absolutely.
beef.
Yeah, and we'll see who's going to be the dark horse of this competition. And you know what? A lot of these, like we keep, needs to be just wide awake in this competition. Sleep. Losing that spot. They were at that 12th spot already, but they lost it to Do Easy. So that is a lot of pressure on their shoulders to actually go and perform. So another
Mhm.
team that has been performing not so well today, surprisingly, is going to be Almighty. They were eliminated so early, and even though, yes, they give a little bit of a fight, it's going to be a different situation here. Freedom Rumble versus Almighty. We saw it already in Kalahari. Freedom Rumble gave them a run for their money. So there's a lot of things to consider here.
Yeah, Freedom Rumble just needs to get away from this situation. I do not like it when Almighty gets serious like this. Batman, like the Batman he is, he takes his place, his rightful position on the roof, trying to stake out all of these bad guys from Freedom Rumble that shot down himself as well as his partners. But now they're going to get away with his Batmobile. And Batman, not going to be too happy about that at all. Jay-Z should be able to pull this backstab off Ren in the situation as well. Batman will be sending all of that information back, but that signal has not popped out just yet. And Freedom Rumble back away from this situation. Shira needs to be careful though. Orin might be able to toss a nade into the second floor of this house, beef.
Yeah, but then Shira at least 2 players from Freedom Rumble. But again, you need not to be too cocky here just because you can be taken down so easily with just one grenade, like what you said a while ago. Freedom Rumble already going in there for the position, but Jay-Z is going to be there for the backup. I feel like if this goes well for Almighty, they might just take out the whole squad, but then I feel like Freedom Rumble might have the upper hand just because of the fire that they had from that last matchup. Here we go. We can see the bodies already trying to get the floor. Jay-Z, though, he could be the only person that could actually make the difference. Shira goes down. Batman and Ren and Jay-Z need to do something.
Yeah, this was the defense that I was just not understanding at all. Shira, Jay-Z, Batman, they allow Freedom Rumble to step into their compound and take it over just like that. What's going on with Almighty? And, Batman, is it going to be his shot calling? Because sometimes, we've asked this question. Are some teams hiding strats? Or is this just a situation where their weakness is showing me?
Maybe it's the point where they're actually kind of comfortable enough to not do a lot of work. And a lot of the top teams haven't been themselves today. So maybe that's why, because they're comfortable, like what you said, they don't really want to reveal too much. Maybe that's
look
why.
at that
But
Batman.
we want to see some action over here.
Batman, what is he doing? I do not understand Almighty and their strats right now. One week they are absolute monsters who know how to play Free Fire in and out, and then the next week Batman is actually embodying his soul animal. He's a blind bat sitting down on a roof, not seeing any of the Freedom Rumble players sneak in. Technically, the guys didn't even sneak in. They drove his Batmobile in. They gave them a lot of warning of their presence, and still they got taken down one after the other. They did not fight back at all, beef.
There was no fight there, and Almighty just dropped it. For some reason, I'm not quite sure why they did that. Jay-Z was supposed to be that person, the backup that they needed, just in case the push did go inside that compound, and it did, and he just stayed outside, and Batman, for some reason, was just up in that roof. I feel like it's because it's daytime, and he's blind like a bat. That's why he's just can't see anything. But speaking of a team that has been doing
scream
well
at
here,
your opponents or something.
it's basically like Pokemon. Come on, just do something, please. So something that did not happen, unfortunately, and Almighty just goes down so easily with 11 squad just eliminated. Metrics, though, seem to be like they're going to be going up against a team that has been absolutely, quite literally on fire. Freedom Rumble really wants to have that win.
Yeah, Batman, you supersonic. It's not effective. Freedom Rumble now coming to see if or not they can snuff Metrics out of this equation. Freedom Rumble, once again, the team that has got that fire lit in their tummy as well as under their butts. You know, a similar fire is being lit under the butts of Metrics as well, but unfortunately for them, they found their... FSK, they lose Yun, he gets deleted. Freedom Rumble, they go in for the knock, but PXG Insanity steals Hanma away. This is a three-way fight, which is soon to be a four-way. If we are a little bit lucky, Beef, let's see what breaks down in here.
FSK just goes away, and that's a good thing. They would not win this at all, especially with all those people down, right? So it's all up to 3 teams to really just battle it out. But it seems like I'm not quite sure if Metrics is going to want to go in for the fight here against PXG Radical just because of how great they've been so far. Really good team. Barba and Insanity already having 1 apiece. They need to get more, though, because that second place, yes, they're probably going to be staying there, but then Blacklist International is going to swoop just like that. So that's not going to be a comfortable position to be in. And you know what? I think about all of these teams. You know, Blacklist International dropped it a while ago. SAF dropped it. But a team that hasn't, they really tried. And yes, they were kind of eliminated a little bit early, but they were in the middle of PXG. It doesn't matter for them. They want to deliver around no matter if they're going to be at the top of the pack or at the bottom. I don't know.
Yeah, Do Easy now. They are the ones who are definitely aiming for a lot. They want to catch Bloody Heads and they want to make sure they get 15 points above of Bloody Heads. And that will only mean Do Easy climbs up 2 spots today. And I will be absolutely amazed if they can pull that off, right? Because you start the day off, you know exactly what you need to aim for. You work towards it. And if you get your goals, if you manage to smash your goals at the end of the day, there is no way you go to sleep at the end of the day without a smile on your face.
It was actually a really good position for Freedom Rumble. There were 3 teams there. There's Freedom Rumble, Metrics, and PXG. So we could have seen a 3-way fight, right? But for some reason, everyone just calmed down, especially with a lot of gunfight already. It's exciting, really exciting from the side right now with PXG. But again, it's just really good rotation, just not wanting to go into the fight. And that's why I like Freedom Rumble right now. Just because of the decisions that they make and really the gunfights that they choose to be in. But here we go. Wills is actually going to be going in for the fight, but then not quite getting the kills that they wanted to get. But yes, they do have 3 to their name already. Do Easy going to be right in front of them as well. And Wills, if they make one a while ago, it's not going to look good for them, especially since Do Easy has been doing so well in this competition so far.
That was a very well taken fight by Views. They are currently trying to stave off Freedom Rumble, who are 7 points behind them. So you know exactly how much was on the line that they needed to win those gunfights. And it looked like they did. And now Freedom Rumble, with Drax trying to run away, gets caught in the crosshairs of Blacklist International. Clangs manages to take him down. And Freedom Rumble make their exit this time round. Bloody Heads, Do Easy. Can they play catch-up gameplay? And I think they will be able to. SAF looking to take down Blacklist International, but what a snuff back from Phoenix, knocking McRory onto the ground. But Ajim now getting knocked down by all of those nades that got popped out by McRory just a couple of moments ago, and the flank being pulled off by SAF. All of the players from Blacklist International squeezing into one small corner. If they can close this gap, SAF together with that grenade launcher should be able to do a lot of damage, but Blacklist International playing this game really well, keeping that distance between them.
Top dogs are already in here for the dog fight, and it's actually both of the teams are doing. Let's go. We're in a little bit of trouble, but then they were able to come in for the pickup. So they need to reposition themselves. They know very well they might not win this engagement for this one, but then they need to choose to either ensue. But I think for now they need to just go. McRory's gonna giving a lot of shots though, but again, it's not gonna be enough just because of how far away they already are. So both of these teams backing away, knowing very well they don't want to give up the spot, don't want to be eliminated early, kind of like what we saw a while ago. So very great place. This is what we usually see from both of these teams, really just picking your fights, and that's what makes a great team.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think SAF could have made a mistake there, but the fact of the matter is they drop 2 players and they immediately understand that they need to back away from that situation. Blacklist International, they were the smarter ones in that fight because when they were being attacked, they were being rushed. The snuff onto Freedom Rumble, they got suckered into going for the chase on Drax, and that literally brought them out into such an open compound. There's no cover whatsoever. They had to just expand all of their glue walls, and it was not a fight that they should have been able to win. And you hit the nail right on the head, Beef. Both teams making the right decision to back away from each other to just take that fight on another day. Blacklist International as well as SAF, they both know and they both understand the importance of getting to that final zone. So they shake hands. I like that.
It's camaraderie right there. It's like, that's kind of respect from the other teams, right? Something that we didn't quite see a while ago, but then that's what I want to see here. The disrespect, the shutdown of those top teams. Just because you see, honestly, at this point, they need to be desperate. They need to be desperate enough to get those kills, desperate to get those placement points. And we've been seeing it from the teams already. It's too easy, bloody heads. Metrics needs to come and pull up, though, just because they got bumped down to the 13th spot by Do Easy. So another team that needs to go and do that is definitely Metrics, but they're going up against SAF right now. That is not going to be an easy thing. And after that, PXG Radicals might actually go and swoon and third party the house down.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking risks, bad thing. Taking a calculated risk, an amazing thing, right? And that's exactly what both of those teams are really, really good at. They have excelled at it in this competition so far. Blacklist International have proven that many a times. I mean, they have, they've literally gone in a wave format in terms of their standings within the leaderboards. They keep going up. They keep, getting bumped right back down. But overall, they've been managed to, maintain their composure now, and very steadily they try to climb the board, but so far away they are from catching up to PXG Radicals. That's like 39 points, and if they want to get up to that first spot, it's 117 points. That's really got to take a toll on your mental state within this competition itself as you gear up for the grand finals, Beef.
Yeah, and it's always just fast kill, Blacklist International and PXG, just to go in for that 2-3-4, right? AKO Legend, they still have to shine into the next round, but we'll see that later. So PXG Radicals having a very difficult time at actually going in and maintaining that second spot just because of how fast we can see fast kill just climb up the ranks. They have a few scores left. Blacklist International and fast kill, they're actually tied up with the points just by a little bit. So again, none of these teams should be comfortable enough. I know you're going to be at top. Maybe they don't want to show any of their strategies going into the final rounds of the competition. So maybe it's their strat. You know what? Let's just give that respect to that. So Metrics, on the other hand, again, a very good team, but then they're just struggling so far here, especially from that game number 1. Argon as well. I know they can have really good days, but hopefully we get to see that and really see them shine. Just because that 14th spot, that is very doable for you to actually go and climb the ranks. There's only, 8 points going in there to just get that 12th place. So Argon needs to really just suit up, really get the placement points, and that is very doable for them if they do the right thing.
Yeah, this is just a crazy circle. It's a crazy compound that we see in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, teams everywhere. Blacklist International views Mbalore all-time turn against popped out, and Mbalore, the MVP of views, gonna get snuffed out. But out of nowhere, here comes Mon knocking Clanks down onto the ground, and views might be able to save their MVP. The time turner is more than enough, but MTX Metrics gonna be taking all of these shots from afar. Will Ash be able to steal a couple of kills away? Those glue walls keeping his shots at pace, and Views will be able to recover a little bit of their momentum. But Bayat, Do Easy out of nowhere tosses a nade in, and Do Easy. Why are we not looking at Do Easy? Come on. Cameraman!
You know what? This is our job. This is our job.
Cameraman!
Broadcasters, we're gonna give them some help, right? Come on, audience. Just bear with us right now. I know you can't see the action, but we'll try to just explain it to you as best as we can. Wills had a very hard time almost having one person down, but then the glue wall action was just a little bit too much for the side of Blacklist. And here we go. Finally get to see it. They're still alive, though. Only just one person down, so that's very good. Do Easy doesn't really quite do the job at eliminating Wills, but just like that, Do Easy finally does it. The shutdown.
Oh, but now Metrix knows DoEasy's right outside of the compound. Metrix wants their spot back. Metrix wants to kick DoEasy down onto the ground and take their 12th position back. But it is Shafik. Shafik drops onto the ground. Shah with a beautiful nade. And now the time turner together with a glue wall. But Shah walks right in and manages to knock a couple of players onto the ground. It's going to be iPad. Shah with the nade finisher. And DoEasy climbing up the leaderboard. It's going to be Manchai. Solo player left for the side of Metrix. But out of nowhere, here comes SAF to tell DoEasy, calm down, boys. This matchup will belong to us. And now Damon getting chased away. McRory going to go in here for the push. And they do manage to catch iPad, who steps up a little bit callously, B.
Oh, and just like that, Metrix is going to be eliminated, and DoEasy seems to be like they might as well, and Daymoon getting a lot of the points, and it's going to be so difficult for DoEasy just because they only have, I think, 2 players left. I'm not quite sure, but they're still alive and kicking, so maybe they can actually go and get more points. And I think they can do here is just a getaway, and if they can win the engagement with a 2v4 situation, that's going to be absolutely difficult.
Oh, Bayets losing his glue walls, finally pulls out the time turner. Survival at his best. Bayets, can he do this? Can he get at least 1 kill before he gets taken down? The answer is no. McRory pumps out the grenade from the grenade launcher, and now SAF, they will continue moving into the next zone, and they should be able to bag this victory as long as they can maintain their composure and get that high ground together with that grenade launcher combo beef. This might all be game over on the side of SAF, but take a peek on the other side. PXG as well as Argon MY already waiting in the zone, and Morgana from Bloody Heads, he has got a grenade launcher as well.
And here we go. We can finally see such spicy action. Argon, though, looking very good, but Sparks is going to be going down. But then X2R is actually going to be getting 1 essential kill. They need to get more frags, though, because they only had 1 here so far. And yes, they are going to be in that 5th spot, but then that's not going to be enough. Morgana absolutely popping off. Takes rid of Shark right now. He's going to be swimming in the waters, and unfortunately for him, it's going to be a little bit too much. Insanity is going to be the only person left for PXG. He just needs to chill out, because he's going to be going up against a full stack of squads here. So all he does is should probably stay back, and Fast Kill eliminated so early. McRory with a triple!
Oh, beautiful. I love those nade plays coming through from McRory as usual. Insanity still trying to hold on, but these are the teams that I said you guys need to watch out for, man. Bloody Heads, Argon MY, everybody's holding on, and the top dogs are coming for their heads. Will they be able to stand on here? But SAF thinning down the herd one by one. Maute gets taken down right after Mark. SAF going in here for the kill. 3 more teams left in here. Argon MY as well as Bloody Heads. Can they team up? Can they make sure they eliminate SAF from this mix? The answer looks like it's gonna be no. Forbits goes in for the delete as well. Morgana gets knocked down onto the ground. Cryfu for the side of Bloody Heads. 4 points in here from the kills. Daymoon still surviving, but the backstab from Cryfu is gonna be impossible. Blue Zone catches the guy out. He gets snuffed out. Bloody Heads gets taken down, but X2R from nowhere takes Forbits out of the equation. Argon MY snuffed out as well. And SAF ever supreme at the very top.
And this is why they are the top team, just because you can see that a lot of what they've been doing so far, if they don't do well here in the other game, best believe that they will go in for the kill in the next few rounds as well. Again, a very well-deserved win here by SAF, really just struggling in the last round, being eliminated so early on in the game. So again, very impressive stuff here.
Absolutely, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's welcome back Danny as well as Holler so they can join us in this very, very crazy conversation as SAF once again manages to make it to the top, Danny. But those who were sharing the final zone with them, they are very, very hungry today, aren't they?
I mean, everyone was hungry today. I found it very strange because I was expecting more teams to get killed earlier on, but my god, the amount of clustering we saw that game was ridiculous. Everyone was so close to each other, but they were also so scared to make those moves first.
Yeah, correct.
I felt kind of bad for PXG Radicals. I do feel like they would have been able to survive for a little bit longer. I forgot who it was that was the last remaining member, but they went in and he tried. Yeah. He thought there was a player there, right? He thought there was a player who was like, okay, I'm going to try and bust this down. Yeah. No one was there, just gone. I just sat there and I thought, oh, you poor soul. poor soul. I mean, it's a battle royale. You don't have that much information to work with. But if he knew, right, it's always a case of like these players not knowing. It's always, you're playing into the unknown. And so if he knew what's behind the walls, where everyone is. We could be looking at a completely different game, but
Yeah.
I felt bad for PXG. I was kind of rooting for them there, hoping that they'll be able to get further.
Yeah.
Do Easy though. Yes, they got eliminated in the middle of the pack, but I still feel like they're going to rank quite high on the leaderboard today.
Were you expecting SAF to take that win though, Holler? Because it looked like they didn't really have a compound. They were outnumbered technically, and they had to do the invasion, and they still managed to bag it, my friend.
Yeah, and it was kind of in the beginning, right? When I thought that SAF, they got 2 knocks on themselves, and they were up against Blacklist, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that Blacklist actually let them go. It was like a Marvel movie in the sense that like the big guys are fighting, but nobody's really dying at the end of the day. And so it's felt like the 2 heavyweights were just fighting. And of course they got away. You know, I mean, it was just like a missed opportunity, I would say, by Blacklist International on that one.
Yeah, they should have gone in there for the snuff, but because I think they turned around that situation very, very well. I expected them to get knocked down. I expected them to get eliminated right there and then. But the fact that this was that fight, the fact of the matter is they managed to turn around, knock down 2 players, and they back away from that fight. You are absolutely right, Holler. If they had managed to snuff out the biggest threat at that point itself, you know, number one, obviously the end of this game would be different since AF was the ones who picked up the, Booyah at the end of the day. But Blacklist International, that might have given them enough of that firepower to push it all the way through to the final zone beef.
Absolutely, and you know what? Another team that actually really needs to have a spotlight right now is definitely going to be Argon MY. They were going to be the second team to get that almost that booyah, but then did enough to actually go in a little bit and continue round after round. They don't even need to get the booyah. They just need to get a lot of kills and place high enough to maybe reach into that 12th spot. As we know right now, they're still going to be in that 14th spot, but if that's going to be enough, if that matchup will be enough for them to go and climb up, then hopefully we get to see that.
Wow,
Do Easy. I did not expect them to end in second place that round. I was thinking maybe 3rd or 4th, but 14, 9 kills. Yes, they ended in the middle of the pack, but this was something that I think everyone here in this broadcast can agree on, right?
Yeah.
Kill points are more important than placement points.
absolutely. I do not disagree with you at all, Danny. And hopefully production can take our word for it. Do Easy, Bloody Head, these are the kind of teams that we need to be keeping our eyes peeled for, right? Because they are just bringing in all of the fire that the MCP Major Season 2 needs. SAF, same old, man. We know they can do it.
Yeah, we're going to end this league with fireworks, actually. Because look at it. Bloody Head, Do Easy, and Argon Malaysia. These are 3 teams that are vying for the 10, 11, 12 spot. And there are very few. And these are the teams that are really stepping up and taking the challenge on. And you can hear the roar.
I see what you did there, you dirty, dirty guy. And also, I mean, honestly though, I mean, as much of they are going to want that lion's share of just that money at the very end of the day, it's really just ego boosts, right? You are going to be with pro players that just want to one-up each other no matter if there's going to be money involved or not. And we like to see the teams that actually weren't doing so well in the past few weeks really deliver right now. Like what you keep saying, Do Easy, Bloody Head, and Argon, we keep seeing that they've been doing so well, and I'm really glad to see they're taking the top spots today.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. This is the teenage dream of Do Easy that they are finally realizing, and we might be able to see them get it done, man. I mean, they have sneaked into the 12th position right now, and Metrics is 12 points behind them. If we can see 2 more rounds like that, I just want to see more from Do Easy. Bloody Heads as well. Crazy place. But yeah, the usual guys will still be able to kick them around on the field.
Kick them around on the field. They will. But you know what we're going to be kicking your way? It is our first code of the day. Make sure you claim it right now. It's on the bottom of the screen. Claim the code. This code expires at the end of the broadcast. So please, if you can, claim it now. Otherwise, save the code for later. Claim it whenever you can. Because it's free stuff. Don't pay anything. No investment. Nothing. Just claim it. Share it with your friends. Everyone can get something. It is not first come, first serve. So get it now. while it lasts. I feel like I am a car salesman trying to tell
I
people
feel
to
the
please
need to
claim their
repeat,
code.
Danny, I feel the need to repeat that the Free Fire community needs no reminders to claim the codes. That's literally that's the opening comment, right? Many different communities have many different opening comments. Sometimes they want to say they are the first in. Well, Free Fire, boop, where's the code? Let's go, guys.
Oh gosh, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing the leaderboard changes, to see what teams are going up, what teams are going down. Of course, for people that are going to be a little bit concerned because Group C hasn't played yet. Yes, all the teams in Group C are going to go down, possibly, but they're going to compensate in just a second because our next matchup is going to be B versus C. Now, do we think that B versus C is the fieriest matchup, or is it actually going to be A versus C? What do you guys think?
I'm gonna go with A versus C. A versus B.
You think A versus?
The A being because they have 3 of the top 5 teams, and then B you have Supreme Assault Forces. So with those 2 teams alone, you have top 4, and I want to see the best teams, right?
Okay.
I say Group B Hidup, Group B Lang Malakas. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's actually pretty impressive. But for me, I think Group C has a lot of work, and I really just want to put on the underdog story here, so hopefully they get to pull through with the points.
All right, we're going to go for a quick break, and once we return, we'll jump right into the action for Groups B versus C. We'll see you after this.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, BXD Radicals, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook the nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Metrics eliminated now. And BXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe that they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past this street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Insects right here, the good accuracy. We have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew.
Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
It's about that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the MCP Majors Season 2. We have just finished up our first groups of the day, A versus B, and now we're going to move on to B versus C. Another monster of a matchup here today on this wonderful Saturday. Hula, we're going to start off with Kalahari, but before we jump into the match, let's take a look at the overall standings to see where some of these teams are going to be sitting. And boy oh boy, we're looking at a couple of big changes.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of movement, at least in the bottom area, right? You're seeing Argon Malaysia.
No, stop.
Why?
Look at where Fast Kill MY is.
Yeah, we see them. We're gonna get to them. Why do we always have to talk about the top 3? Blacklist International has not played well. We know that. Fast Kill Malaysia, yeah, they picked it up and they've gone in there. But I don't care about the top 3. All I care about is who's gonna make the top 12.
I guess. Okay. Metrics goes down. Are you happy? I'm kidding. This is actually going to be really devastating. Excuse me. Very devastating for Metrics just because these guys are pretty happy up in that 12th spot, but do easy. Fantastic performance for their opening 2 matches. Now the question is, are they going to be able to maintain it?
I don't think so, because we're going to see something that we haven't really seen too much of, and that's going to be Zest Squad. This is a team that's starting to pick things up. They're on the rise. They've got 24 points, 30, and 44 in the last 3 days. They've gotten rid of the whole hot versus cold play style, and have shown that it's really never over until the last play day, as these guys have gotten consistently better and better, and they're really looking to just stick around in this league.
I'm guessing this is never going to end. Anyways. Alright, so if we're going to continue on with the topic of these bottom 2 teams, right? Sorry, bottom 3, 4, 5, however far down you want to go. How do you feel Freedom Rumble has done? Because they did very well during their opening round on Kalahari, but then it just seemed to be a completely different story on Purgatory. It was as if the story got flipped on its head and they just evened out their performance today by having a horrible finish.
I feel like they're shooting their shot. Right? If anything, they know that, hey, the pressure is on them. They need to pick it up. So they need to get the kills in. They need to try to get something going. And so they're trying to just change their playstyle. Hey, if it doesn't work out, sometimes you're unlucky. At least you tried at the end of the day. You weren't hiding in a corner. You weren't, passively or avoiding fights. You were trying to do as much as possible. So I like the style, and I like the fact that they're trying to, keep themselves in it by just being aggressive, and which is their playstyle.
Yeah, but hopefully they're going to be able to stay in it. I'd be very devastated for the team if they suddenly flop for the next couple matches and then they lose that top 12 positioning. Like, that would be horrible for the team mentally. Anyways, that's going to be it for final words, Paula, because I hear the match is starting.
No. I was going to say that they could just cry about it later, but let's go into Group B versus Group C. This is going to be match 3. AJ, Beef Mommy, please take it away.
Thank you so much, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Beefstachio's back once again. And Beef, that there might be a little bit of a banter as to which is the more important side to look at, the top half of the leaderboards or the bottom half of the leaderboards. But either way, I don't care. As long as the Group B players are in here, I'm going to be excited because they are just turning the whole competition on its head.
I mean, either way, it's going to be absolutely out of this world. The tournament here so far has been sort of like giving me ET vibes, right? So, again, I'm so impressed because Kalahari is going to be right in the map. Just like that, it's been so fast for some reason. A lot of these teams haven't been playing a little bit passive, really just going in there, clustering things up. And in a map like Kalahari, we usually see things kind of slow down just a little bit. And hopefully we get to see an amazing gameplay like what we've seen in the last 2 rounds.
Oh, absolutely right. Because we, with all of the teams that have dropped in here this time round, we will not be seeing Blacklist International participate. Why? Because they are in Team A. So who is going to be the dark horse that steps up and shows us that they can master this map a little bit better, Beef?
Well, let's see. Dren already taking some shots already. Freedom Rumble seems to be like they're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Bloody Heads, though, will going to be the person, the team that can actually go in for the takedown. But so far, Bloody Heads, they've been doing okay. Freedom Rumble, they didn't have the best match last night, but then, you know what? It's not going to be the same thing. Just because Kalahari, they were so impressive here a while ago, so it doesn't really matter for me. If they become consistently good here, hopefully they really get to rack those points.
Argon MY cannot brain, and I think Argon MY might be able to pick up 4 easy points here from the side of cannot brain. No offense, cannot brain, but you know, I cannot brain. How will cannot brain get out of this situation without dropping a couple of deaths right from their team members? They pick a very, very, very tough spot to drop into, and knowing for a fact that there is another squad there, Cannot Brain should have just backed away. They have not been able to take a lot of these great gunfights, and to take such a huge risk, especially at the maze early game, terrible idea.
You are absolutely right. And it's the maze that you usually get to see teams really just go down early. Just get to see. And also for the guns there, you don't really get to have a really, really good set of guns. But then another matchup here that we've been seeing kind of just on pause just a little bit. They're just going into the positioning over here. Freedom Rumble doesn't really want to go in there too aggressively, as Dren already going in there. One goes down.
Oh, nice.
Alright, and then goes in for the takedown.
Yeah, Bloody Heads look like they're slightly more hungry, and now Cobbs trying to see if or not he will be able to catch Gryfu off guard here. He does not have any nades on him, no glue walls as well. Apam, Time Turner popped out right in front of him. Cobbs now down on the ground. Morgana should be able to snuff him out of this equation, going in for the delete in a couple of seconds, whilst Drags will be running away. Apam on the ground as well, and Bloody Heads have managed to get it done. And now Freedom Rumble, they will have to play the game of survival just purely with Drags, but Bloody Heads, they know exactly where this guy is running to, and if they go in for the chase, they might be able to bag all 4 of those kill points. But Drags is already very close to a compound, but out of nowhere gets snuffed out from the back. What a play by the Bloody Heads!
Drags just unfortunately loses the drag race, and Argon already is actually having a very hard time. Me's going to be the only person left for his team to actually go in there for the pickup. 3 members for him, and just like that, things are actually turning around. That is just unfortunate to see. And Umbrella, they're doing a not such a good job as well, as Mi's actually applying that pressure for them. Needs to go in for one more, but then it seems like Umbrella wants to really take all of those kills.
Oh! Umbrella Reborn, so good with the snuff, and they do not lose anybody from this equation. They managed to get the drop onto the side of Argon MY. I'm believing after, you know, Argon MY was already done with that fight against the side of Cannot Brain earlier, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and it feels like, you know, it was not a situation that could have gone any better for the side of Umbrella Reborn. But we still have to acknowledge the fact that they are 47 points behind Z Squad, and Z Squad's literally sitting down in that 15th position. So not a great place, but it's, I guess, a good start to their matchup.
Sort of, kind of, maybe not so much, but then they were able to get some kills, but wasn't able to actually go and utilize every single one just because AKO. Auto Knockout's gonna be a very hard opponent. They're going to be in that 5th spot, so they're not gonna give an easy time right now. They want to back that third like what they did from last week, and here we go. Big kills, big shots taken, getting a lot of those damages, but it's not going to be enough to actually go in for the takedown. It's going to be very hard for Zeth. As we see, Lavitz is going to be going down. That is going to be so difficult, as one more person is going to be left for Zeth Squad to actually go and pull through.
I am so annoyed with the fact that the MCP Majors has got so many good teams in it, man. I just realized my favorite team, 4X-Men Expert, they are alive and kicking, and we haven't touched on them for quite a bit. Thank you so much, production, for switching on to them. Cannot Brain taking this fight up against them, and 4X-Men Expert should be able to snuff out Cannot Brain. Cannot Brain managed to run away from trouble earlier when they got caught with Argon MY at the maze, but making it away does not mean they will be able to change their fate, because now 4X-Men Expert, the team that has managed to climb up the ranks little by little, and at the very same time lose a little bit of their pace in the past weeks, might be looking to make a comeback now, Beef.
Well, it's a good thing they actually went out of position and really just went out of the reach for XBR right now. Brain, they actually have big brain plays right now. Cannot Brain is going to be pretty impressive, even though they only have 3 people left in their team. So they're a little bit spread out, though. I would really just like for them to just stick together as a team, just because there are only 3 people left. So the push going into the circle, though, needs to ensue for a lot of the teams right now. There's going to be 3 teams that are going to be outside needing to go in for the push. Bayfront, though, seems to be like it's such a vacant area in a really good place to really just settle in, especially going into the final circles.
Yeah, auto knockout. They are done with a majority of the players from Z Squad and they back away. They should be able to carry that momentum in towards the next circle. Do Easy is holding on to Refinery, a great place to hold on to if you are in Kalahari. But we have seen a couple of teams make the great mistake of not moving fast enough away from those high platforms. Because yes, it does give you a crazy good advantage with the bird's eye view. But once you have a team sneak right down below you, jumping away from this position, especially when that blue zone is coming to catch you off guard, you can't survive a fight like that.
You usually get to see a lot of engagements going of how well it is, especially if you have that high ground. But what we get to see a lot is you keep thinking that Refinery is going to be in that final circle, which it sometimes actually does. Out of all of the places, since it's in the smack dab right in the middle, a lot of the time it'll be in those final circles, right? But you get to see a lot of these teams fight for Refinery and really just go down one by one without even realizing that the circle is going to be closing in, without even realizing that Refinery is not going to be in that circle. So you're just stuck. So you need to have that presence of mind very well going into the sixth, that it's not going to be there. That early exit, that French exit that these teams need to just learn, they just need to do that and really have that presence of mind.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, right? The presence of mind, knowing at all times exactly where your opponents are, understanding your own position within the map when you pull off the rotations. Because you see, the position that 4 X-Men experts holding on to right now, they clearly understand how to play the command center. But now they are going to be in a lot of danger, literally, as that is the danger zone. Beautiful shots coming in from Goku, but unfortunately, Bloodyhead's a little bit too far away, and that compound is going to allow them to back away and make sure they do not get snuffed out. 4 X-Men experts still looking to take Bloodyheads out of this equation, but I love it. Bloodyheads, they are showing us a very, very different side of themselves, Beef.
Are a different team every single week. They have been pulling the points, really just impressing not only us casters but also the crowd. So if you are going to be a fan of Bloody Heads, please give it in the chat below. You know what, not just that, give love to every single team that you are rooting for, not only to get that top spot, to also get into that 12th place. So another team that has been doing okay here so far, Metrics, gets bumped down into that 12th spot. Do Easy steals that from them. So Metrics has a lot of pressure actually go and deliver. So this passive play for them, maybe it's gonna work out, but at the very end they need to get those kill points.
Yeah, Metrics is sitting in the 13th place, 12 points away from Do Easy. But, you know, catching up to Do Easy is not going to be easy at all, literally because of the momentum they've picked up in this matchup. And now ITX going in for the snuff on AKO. Zapnu, he takes a great position for himself right on the roof. And Russo X gets knocked down onto the ground. Trix, he goes in for the push. And Shooks, he wants to go in for the delete as well. Auto knockout. Trix now with the response. Time Turner gets popped out. And Nga gonna get knocked down onto the ground. But Nga manages to knock Shook before getting taken down. Shad should be able to pick him right back up. And ITX, AKO, this fight is not one that Auto Knockout thought they could win. And Umbrella Reborn, out of nowhere, might be able to third party and snuff ITX out of this equation. This is Pandemonium. SAF on the way in to distract Auto Knockout. What is going on, Beef?
There are just so many squads right now. We just keep seeing the cluster that is always happening in Saf just going to be at the back end, just greeting every single one there with the shots. And Saf, here we go, trying to go in for the infiltration. And really, it's AKO that's going to be having a very hard time. Auto Knockout seems to be like, one is knocked out! Makarari yet again with a God Nade!
Now let's see exactly how much they can pull off in here. Umbrella Reborn taking the fight up against ITX. Looks like they've gotten rid of the fourth team in there, unfortunately for them. SAF now. Forbids lost on the ground, and McRory will be backing away, but he understands that two of his partners already going in for that pickup, so he does not need to focus in on Forbids. McRory needs to make sure none of the other players from Umbrella Reborn or ITX come in and focus on snuffing them out instead. And it's going to be Xbot77 taking down iPens, goes in for the delete as well. Shook in trouble! And to be touching Shook at all as he backs away from this equation. But the hit marker most definitely does knock his HP down to just 30%. Shot gonna get picked up by Trix, and it is the side of ITX still alive and kicking. Umbrella Reborn can back away to leave SAF to clean up the sins of ITX in this fight. And it looks like SAF do not want this as well. They back away in towards the next zone beef.
That is a very smart thing to do. And just because they're not going to be able to get all of those points, it's not going to be worth it. Because at the very end, they need to position themselves, and they into positioning out of everything else. And McRory is just going to be absolutely cracked. You know, this man has so many kills. No one even touches him. And I'm seeing I'm basically seeing the ones up from last week. We're not seeing the one from here, but he had 86 kills last week. And we're tying it up right now. We're seeing a lot more from him. Definitely, he's gonna reach that 100-point mark right now. That guy is going to throw a grenade like swish, swish, bish. Another one in the... So, speaking of another one in the basket, we see Umbrella doing such a great job with 4 kills. But no, Error is gonna commit an error. Goes down without any help.
Oh, Grizzly as well as ZJ still alive and kicking in here. Are they going to be able to respond SAF if they can take these kills? It's going to be these high-tier moments for the side of Umbrella Reborn. They're still trying to scratch and claw their way up, but it's a little bit tough. 91 points away from the 12th position, but 16. Okay, technically 5th. Yeah, wait, for them it should be, 16 matches to go. Cannot Rain finally getting eliminated. It's going to be 4 X-Men. We jump on over to SAF. SAF taking this fight up against ITX, and Zapnu now on the ground. Daymoon will be able to snuff him out. Shot gets deleted as well, and Tactical Index eliminated by SAF. Daymoon gets picked right back up, and Let's Go tops his health right back in here as well. SAF moving on into the final zone, but can Umbrella Reborn maybe stop them in their tracks?
Umbrella Reborn seems like they're so solid right now, but with just one person going down, that might be very hard to do. You know what SAF needs? They need a taste of their own medicine. The grenades need to come raining down for Umbrella if they really want to take one more down. And it's going to be very hard just because you see a lot of the members of SAF have already used up a lot of their utility just because they've been doing so much already in the past few minutes. They've been meeting up so many teams. And, but then it doesn't really matter for them as they're going to be able to have a triple kill. McRory, big kill. Not only that, tries to see one more. The elimination is not going to pull through just yet.
Oh, off-screen, Do Easy. Taking out the players from Bloody Heads. Cryfu snuffed out by IPAN. SAF still going in for the chase, but it looks like Umbrella Reborn will be able to survive a little bit longer. Taking the risky route, backing away outside of the safe zone. And now SAF will find Metrics, and they fire up against them. Umbrella Reborn gets taken out by the blue zone as expected. It was just a little bit too risky for the guy. SAF and Metrics now on the left as well as the right. Ash, they will be able to go in. McRory gets snuffed out. Daymoon gets knocked down onto the ground and deleted as well. Do Easy gets knocked down by the blue zone. And Metrics, they are getting the upper hand here. Manchai on the ground, but immediately the glue walls pulled out and he will be right back on his feet. Manchai, an integral member for the side of Metrics, so they can snuff out Let's Go from afar beef.
Oh, look at the kill feed. It's just absolutely crazy. Do Easy's doing such a good job right now. Blade is going to be having a hard time. He's the only person left for Zeth. He needs to just chill out, but it's not going to be very easy just because Do Easy knows where he's at. But it's a good thing that Metrics is actually applying that pressure. Now, this is going to be very great. Metrics versus Do Easy. SAF is going to be having a hard time just because they only have one player left for them to really just go in there for the kill. It's 12th versus 13th place right now. It's going to be very hard, but then they have a platter and they're going to say bon appetit.
Oh, Do Easy now taking Metrics on, and this is the fight that neither one of these sides want to lose. Do not forget, Metrics 12 points behind Do Easy. Do Easy just replaced Metrics in the 12th position. This is the top 12 that move on to the grand finals. And now the nade gonna get popped out, but Xbot 77 gets dropped onto the ground, and Jembal responds with a nade of his own, going in for the delete. Bayets now gets knocked onto the ground. Do Easy try to stand up strong, but Metrics, Shafiq comes in. Bayets gets knocked down onto the ground. Shah out as well. Hypen and Jembal, can they recover? Z Squad from afar, they don't want to step in, but Metrics gets taken out, and Do Easy position themselves to pick up the booyah, but SAF still alive and kicking. I didn't even notice that final player on the map, beef.
It's just one person from staff and 3 members, they were able to get that pickup. So there you go. Zeph Squad is going to be eliminated. It's going to be a 1v3 situation, but we've seen this before. Let's Go is definitely going to be that player that can actually do that. IPAN though with the quadra kill already on fire, and this be very Let's Go to actually go in there, but just like that, without any surprises, Do Easy doing an amazing job here. They're gonna climb up the ranks for sure, and Metrics, they're gonna be pissed.
The flex. The freaking flex coming in here from Do Easy. It's the fire in the belly. It's also the fire underneath the butts that burn Do Easy to bring out all of that fire from them. Like I said, Metrics, they've been feeling the heat, but the strength coming out from Do Easy just a little bit too strong to keep down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's welcome back Danny and Holla, our amazing hosts, right back in here so we continue this conversation.
Actually, I think if I was Metrics, I would be pretty damn annoyed right now. And I feel like the main reason they should be annoyed is that they didn't finish SAF off. They should have. I felt like it was such a missed opportunity that they didn't finish them off, because they would have, firstly, they would have placed higher. Secondly, it may have gone completely differently with their engagement against Do Easy, because you don't have to worry about this other player on the other side of the map that could potentially backstab you as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm still happy for Metrics. They made it far. They got some decent kills in, but it could have been so much better.
Once again, Holler, I'll repeat this. Hidup Group B, Lang Malakas Group B. This Group B is just gonna rip everybody apart today, and it's gonna continue as well. Do you think that's a possibility, Holler, or are we seeing the other teams, slowly step up and catch up with the plays of Group B in here today?
No, I'm definitely wide awake with Group B, right? In the sense of like Do Easy, this is a team that has just been on a tear. Like, we do not want to get eliminated. We're going to continue to push on, and they're getting so many kills. This Do Easy team is on fire all day today.
Yeah, absolutely, Beef. But SAF though, Beef, they could have taken it.
Yeah, they could have taken it, obviously, and it was only just up to one person. Honestly, that one person could have just taken every single one of them out, but still, it's very hard to actually go and clutch that up, that 1v3. But again, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world for them, just because they're comfortable. That's the reason why they can make more risky plays, right?
Yeah.
Get there, they know they're gonna be there, and it's really up to Metrics and Do Easy and Bloody Head to just fight everything off. At this point, the squads that are actually the top 5, they're just eating popcorn. They're just look at those guys just trying to qualify.
You are right? They're comfortable. In fact, they are like 90 plus points comfortable at the very top. It's gonna be a thing of dreams, right? Like the teenage dream that we were talking about for Do Easy. Yeah, it's gonna be a similar level of a dream that other teams can have to catch up with SAF. But I see it as purely impossible, because as the other teams have brought in pure inconsistency, SAF is that one team that has been so steady in terms of getting that lead and maintaining that lead above and beyond everybody else, Danny.
Yeah, I think it's just a characteristic of the team. But you know who I want to see consistency from?
Who?
I want to see consistency from Freedom Rumble. This round, bombed out. Start off fantastic. Team sort of fell off. And then game 3, they just disappeared.
Yeah.
I'm really worried about this team, because they've got one more game to pick up those points, because essentially these guys are competing to stay in that top 12. And the possibility of them losing that spot is very likely, especially with how some of these teams at the bottom end of the bracket are playing today. Hell, I think Do Easy, they're almost in a position where they can say, okay, we can make a couple mistakes now. We have enough points to buffer us from dropping below that top 12.
If I may, ma'am, Do Easy is 5 points away from kicking Freedom Rumble away from their 10th position. Do Easy needs one more amazing round in here, and it will be so easy to climb up to the top, Holler. How crazy is that, my friend?
I mean, we're seeing it time and time again. Like, this is a team that's been on the rise. They've been adding consistency to their play. They're getting a ton of points. I mean, getting a booyah and 9 kills against a team that, you know, that has SAF in it, Tactical Intex, it has 4X Men, like AKO Legend, all of these powerhouse teams, and then you're able to score it. So I feel like, I don't know what they've been eating, what they had for breakfast, or whatever it is, but it's working. Do Easy need to keep it up, and they're going to continue to go on with this.
Nah. I think I know what's going on here for Do Easy. They did this last season. This was a team that just, for some reason, are late bloomers. And when I mean late bloomers, I mean they bloom when it's almost too late. So it's kind of kicking in here for Do Easy, but I'm just hoping, okay, you want to bloom now, fine, okay, but don't die on me until the final stage, okay? You got to make it to the final stage, because if they don't bloom, I don't know.
Then they can't claim this giveaway.
I mean, they can't claim the giveaway, but also they won't be able to play in the top 12 because that's what everyone's been competing for. I mean, I've been rooting for them quietly. I haven't said anything because I've been trying to not jinx the team thus far. And they're doing me proud now, but stop, I'm jinxing. Anyways, claim the code down below. It is free. Everyone can claim it. Share it with your friends and family. It is not come first serve. It expires after this stream. So make sure you claim it before the stream ends.
You don't like jinxing them. I, on the other hand, have got like this gift from God where I say some stuff and it just goes out happening. Do Easy is going to go up to the 10th position, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. One more opportunity in here, just like you. I've got my fingers crossed. But then again, now you've said it though, Danny, and
no, I didn't.
Now you're actually going to jinx it.
No, they're not going to make it. It's fine.
Why do you need to poop on my parade? Why?
How Haven Hauler? The game's been pretty good, right?
Yeah. All the days, the games have been great. Aside from the fact that you guys don't seem to get along on Do Easy, but that's neither here nor there at this point. But I think this is going to be the last game for Group B, right? And we've seen a lot of that, and the other teams really haven't had that opportunity to do as well. And I think that getting it into 10th place might be a bit of a stretch. I'm just going to kind of go in the sense of I think that they're going to do well, not top 12 level. I think they're going to be actually probably sticking around because people are going to start looking out for Do Easy. They're going to put they're going to mark them with a target, so to speak.
All right, so it looks like we're going to be jumping into our second map for our second group of the day. It is B versus C. AJ and Beef, please take it away.
Our prayer answered right now. Finally gonna make its way, and as we see, the heavens are going to be dropping off the angels, and honestly it has a lot of pressure right now, especially from Do Easy, just because they've been for a week really just gaining all of those points.
Do Easy, what are you doing? Okay, all right. They are flying over to the golf course. They want to play a little bit of golf, right? I thought they wanted to play golf with metrics. That would have been a terrible idea. And Argon MY now going in, taking those spot shots. Are they going to be able to find the players off Cannot Brain from afar? It's going to be very, very tough to get those knocks as well as those deletes. Do Easy over at the golf course. They should be able to go in and loot as much as possible before they try to bag yet another booyah in here for today. A tremendous performances, I have to say, from this squad all throughout this day, Beef.
So Argon, the usual spot that they actually go in there, and this is very important to note for the other teams that are playing, and they probably know that as well. Argon likes to play at the very outside of the map, at the very edges, and make their way in. So if they want to have a chance to get rid of this team early on, then they already know that Argon's going to be in that cheeky spot every single time. So that makes them a little bit predictable. Maybe that is the reason why they're actually going to be at the very bottom of the pack and not really just slowly climbing their way up, but how fast enough they can actually reach that top 12 is going to be very difficult for them if they keep becoming predictable. Do Easy, on the other hand, they've been doing so well. I mean, we keep saying that, yes, they are going to spot. We keep shuffling who's going to be in that 12, 13, and 11 spot. So that's why, the reason why they're doing so well, right, AJ, is the fact that you can't read them anymore. I can't predict what moves they're going to do next, and we're always surprised every single time they play.
You know, one of the main reasons why I said we have to keep our eyes peeled for teams like Do Easy, Metrics, Argon MY, Bloody Head, Freedom Rumble is for a very, very simple reason. It's literally do or die. Grand finals. I mean, you know, Holler pointed out something very interesting. When you play just at the league stages, yes, there's a prize pool, but that's child's play, right? You've got a total of $15,900 to be shared between, I believe, 18 teams. All right, technically 17 teams now. I don't know what happens to the balance of the 400 USD for the 18th team. So I guess, you know, you share it between these 17 teams, but the lion's share of that prize pool of 50,000 USD is at the grand finals, is when you have the 12 teams fighting for a pot of gold worth 34,100 US dollars. And that's what it's all about. And it's do or die for all of these teams. For the others, I mean, if you look at views, if you look at 4X-Men Expert, Almighty, AKO, they don't really have a lot of that fire right now because they don't need that fire. As far as they are concerned, they want to experiment with each and every single one of these teams. This is the time where they pull out some of the cheese strats where they don't know if or not it will work against these guys, but they need to try it now. Now is the time to be making these mistakes because they've earned all of this free time to play cheekily beef.
Exactly. And the reason why these teams, the top teams, are really just experimenting, they've been doing a little bit so-so, they're 50-50. And yes, they want to try out the strats that they want to apply at the very end in the finals to really just get that money. And I kind of really want to touch up on what you mentioned a while ago. That is a lot of money. We are in Southeast Asia, so if you do convert that into your currency, it can quite literally change your life. You can get something, put it in an investment, and that's why gaming has been so important. That's why Free Fire is just so awesome to actually have this opportunity that can quite literally change the lives of these players. So yes, we do see teams that don't really get to take it seriously, but what I see right now, what I've seen with the team so far, they want to do that. Not only do they want to get the title, but also get the money to just change their lives, become the esports professionals that they are, and really just grow the industry.
That's the part where, I mean, it's breaking off into a totally different conversation, but I think it's a great place to have this conversation, right? It all depends on the type of contract that you sign at the end of the day. As a pro player, you know, you can sign many different types of agreements. We don't know whether or not the players will get full access to the prize pool, or do they get paid a certain amount of salary each and every single month, and they only get a certain percentage of the prize pool that they win for the brand that they have signed under, depending on, you know, how much of assistance or guidance the brand have given them so far. So, you know, overall, as a majority, MCP majors, although the prize pool there is big, I think what the teams truly are fighting for is to show which one is that top brand. Who's going to be the top dogs of a Free Fire? Because we know some kings of old who are not going to be the kings moving forward. The throne is looking for a brand new brand to snatch it.
And speaking of snatching it, we're going to be seeing here Zeth versus XBR, Cannot Brain. They've been doing not a good job. They are going to be at the very bottom of the pack. And that's not going to be very easy. But then here we go. Morgana is going to be going down, taking some shots. And it's going to be Metrics yet again, really wanting to stay in that 12th position. But then she actually, that's good. He actually goes in for the pickup. So this is what we like to see with the teamwork, right? They just don't give up. Every single time they have the opportunity to help their teammate, they do that.
I am mind blown by Mark's play. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Morte, did you guys see what he did? He pulled off the distraction, and with that distraction, they are able to fire back at Metrics, and they will be able to knock down two of their players. Mark now on the ground, gets picked right back up, whilst Morte does a lot of the work for the squad. He pulls those distractions, he pulls those kills, he pulls those shots, and Morte gets yet another knock. This time, Sharpie gets taken down. Bot 77 right in front of him. Morte finally gets knocked down onto the ground, but the guy has already done so much for the squad of Bloody Heads. Morgana now going in to clean up house. Bloody Heads, they go in for the snuff, and I think it has been just enough. Metrics back away, but we snap on over to the Z squad as they take this fight up against Cannot Brain. A beautiful nade getting dropped in. Arons goes in for the snuff, and Bloody Heads, they will be able to snuff out Ash, and Metrics make their exit. Morak gets knocked down onto the ground. Type 64 as well as Levit. Type 64 now out as well. Z squad on the brink of a knife annihilation by Cannot Brain. But Freedom Rumble is coming into third party this party as well, Beef.
They're going to be party poopers right now, and Zeth from Hunters, they're going to be hunted. Freedom Rumble is going to take all of the scraps, and they're going to be selfish for that. And there you go, Zeth squad eliminated. Cannot Brain is going to be at the brink of extinction as well. Finally waking up, knowing very well that they need to gather all of these points. And there you go, eliminates 2 teams already. A very great start from Freedom Rumble. But here we go, another engagement is going to ensue. Argon versus Do Easy. Now, it's anyone's game at this point. Played smart, just because Do Easy has been doing so well. They've been doing a lot of strat changes, so that nade off there might be able to actually get one, but no, it doesn't. So let's see what happens here.
Oh, beautiful Nate. Chow! Almost taken down. Beautiful glue wall, but Sparks manages to get one place really well. Argon MY, they've got the compound. Do Easy taking a very tough fight here. And if Do Easy manages to turn things around, I will be mind blown, because this is a fight that Argon MY not only should win, but they should be able to win without losing any man whatsoever. They have got the numbers advantage, and Do Easy, they abandon their friend, they abandon their brother for a greater cause. They back away from this fight. And I feel like that's the best decision they could have made at that point of time, Beef.
Absolutely, that was a really good decision to just leave that one person, just because they're thinking of the future. They need to have one more person going in there. As 2 people, they just want to position themselves into a better area. They should not have engaged in the first place. But here we go. Freedom Rumble is going to be in trouble. Bloody Head already giving so much bloody heads for the team that they actually go and find. One person down. Cobb is going to be going down. Apam's going to be the only person left for his team that can actually make a difference. Bloody Head, triple kill for Cryfu, and it's going to be so difficult. Points are already going down. His health dwindling so fast already, and Apam needs to go and find salvation.
Oh, everything is counting on this. Bloody Heads, they are trying to replace Freedom Rumble in terms of the standings. They're 3 points behind them, and Do Easy gets eliminated in the background. Freedom Rumble gets eliminated as well. The winners overall will be Bloody Head. Bloody Head, they will not lose their position to Do Easy. And not only do they not lose their position, they replace Freedom Rumble in the standings. These are the teams that we need to keep our eyes on, Beef, and they are absolutely amazing at the MCP Major Season 2 as they fight for their lives to get into the grand finals. And now ITX, a team that has already learned that strat early on in the competition, they are now trying to move on little by little. They take this fight up against Auto Knockout in that 5th position. They don't look to replace them. For ITX, it's all about how much can they improve at the league stages so they can bag those big money at the grand finals, Beef.
ITX versus AKO. It's the 5th seed versus the 8th. So Tactical Intex, they have a chance to actually go away and really just maybe play into very passively over here. AKO, though, doesn't quite go in for the aggression. That's going to be good for them. They need to go in here. Both of these teams have a shot. They have really good positioning so far, but I think in the side of ITX, they have a little bit more of an advantage. But we are going to be taking our sides on Bloody Heads right now, going against SAF. I'm not quite sure if SAF is going to be one Goliath that you kind of want to play with. Cryfu is going to get picked up right now, so it's a very good thing for them. But we already know in this tower, it's not going to be the best if you actually go and get stuck there. Morgana's going to be applying that pressure right now from Saf, but Saf is actually going to be having a really good position so far.
Yeah, they have got the compound, and Bloody Heads needs to understand that they do not stand a great chance in here. SAF, they are gaining momentum for themselves, and they take on the high ground. Morgana, he tries to prevent the side of SAF from moving away, but it just seems to be a losing battle. SAF has managed to pull away very far, and Bloody Heads, they do not need to aggress on. They have got 8 kills in the bag so far. Bloody Heads, they are looking to maintain their top 12 run. They are looking to catch up with Freedom Rumble. They are looking to even potentially replace Views in that 9th position, and it does not look like it's gonna be too impossible based on their current performance, Beef.
Their performance has been really good here so far. Bloody Heads having already 8 kills to their name, a really great start. And now this is the team that always does really well in those early games, kind of like Almighty, but they always just kind of drop it at the very end. And we already know that it's going to be this team that we really want to get our eyes on, just because they haven't had a booyah quite yet. So maybe today is the day for them to actually go and get that. But speaking of a team that has been struggling here today so far, for X-Men Expert, already in that 7th spot, having 3 booyahs for them. them. They've been a little bit comfortable, and they could. Yeah, we keep saying yes, they couldn't, but then I really want to see them perform. 4X-Men Expert has been the team that is the favorite of AJ, and there's a reason for that. We've seen so many bright spots for them individually.
Yeah, and I've been monitoring their gameplay. I highly doubt we're going to be able to see them perform, in this round. Mainly because, look at these guys. Cheeky with the splits, going in for the 2-2. They are practicing a strategy here. They want to see if or not the vehicles can get them that final zone. I wish 4X-Men Expert all the best with this play. I think I've seen enough of it from Team Fastkill, from Freedom Rumble in the past as well. It's one of the crappiest gameplays to pull off in Free Fire because it is just so risky. You get your vehicles exploded in an open area and you are a sitting duck beef.
A sitting duck, and there's going to be a bunch of hunters really at the end of the barrel, and we've seen that really happen over here, especially with the clusters that we've been seeing here so far. That seems to be like the name of the game today, but hopefully we don't get to see that just because of how tricky it can actually be. So it really is going to be the teams that really get to back away from those situations and not be sitting ducks, and hopefully don't get to be roasted ducks at the very end of the day. But Argon doing a little bit good so far, but then they're going to be one person down, so they need to chill out just a bit, just because a lot of these squads still have 4 people left in their team.
Yeah, the very rare monster truck picked up by Argon MY. Yeah, I think they should be able to get all the way into the final zone with this play. 4X-Men Expert now snuffing out Umbrella Squad. It's going to be Cannot Brain that gets eliminated halfway through. Do Easy makes their exit as well in the 9th position. Freedom Rumble right behind them. And it looks like Bloody Heads. They are the ones who are going to be able to aggress all the way up to the top. 4X-Men Expert picking up those kills as well. And now Jabat going in for those shots. Rybel for the backup as well. He needs to back away. And this is what I was talking about. You get the vehicle, you are going to get caught out in the open. And 4X-Men Expert, they need to find a way now to get a little bit of this momentum onto their side, because Umbrella Reborn, they can have some good questions, and Rybel gets knocked down onto the ground. The blue zone there as well. And Goku's not going to be able to save the guy. Umbrella Reborn together with iPens. He should be able. 4X-Men Expert, this is what I was talking about, man. I don't like those vehicle plays.
Yeah, that was a very risky play, and Rybel already getting out. Oh, that is just unfortunate. Not enough time for them to go in for the pickup. Spade and Goku, the only people left in their team to make a difference, and Umbrella already making a lot of damage already. But here we go. Umbrella Reborn is actually going to be eliminated. And doesn't matter. 4X X-Men is actually going to be a good enough of a team that can function with just 2 players. Goku with 3, Spade with 1. The only members for them to actually go and get kills. So they actually took advantage of that range, showing very well they've got really amazing snipers. So yes, it was risky. They lost a bunch of people there, but 4X-Men Expert took that, eliminated Umbrella. So maybe it's not that bad of a decision to make.
Terrible decision to make. I mean, at the end of the day, what did it cost? It cost them 2 players. Look at the teams that are in the next zone. None of those teams are small names, man. You've got Bloody Heads, you've got SAF, you've got Tactical Intex in there, you've got Auto Knockout. 4X-Men Expert trying to survive this with just 2 men. Yeah, absolutely impossible. Make that 1 man, right? Since Spade is on the ground. And you know it for a fact, Beef. This is my favorite team. I've been, backing them up from day number 1 because I've been absolutely in love with their plays, but I'm not too fussed. I'm not too fussed with this performance. 4X-Men Expert, they are not even trying. But Bloody Heads, they definitely are going in here for the Juggernaut victory, and they should be able to find Goku. Yet another kill for Bloody Heads to pick up. Nade after nade getting popped in through, and Goku eliminated. Oh, but it is taken out of nowhere. That steals the kill. Auto Knockout, dirty playboys.
Auto Knockout with a Vulture gameplay, just taking advantage of the situation. So we see that a lot, and I'm pretty sure they really wanted to get that kill. Bloody Heads definitely was popping off there, really just wanting to get all of those points. But again, it's really just the position gameplay that we really need to see from all of these teams, and SAF are pretty comfortable in this compound. But again, it's going to be a reset. As we see here, the 5th circle is going to be ensuing, going into the 6th. They need to go in for the push, and that's a good thing. But then it's going to be 1 person that's going to be in their midst. It's going to be Tactical Intex, but he's going to be the only one left. Argon is going to be saying bye-bye. AKO really just applies that pressure, but it's just 1 team that's actually going to be in there, and that's AKO. So that's a really good thing, that to really just prioritize positioning.
Oh, now let's see if or not Bloody Heads will be able to snuff out AKO. This is not going to be the type of fight that they've taken in here so far. Bloody Heads, they need to be careful. Those nades get popped in right one after the other, but the glue wall's being managed very well by DCOS. He has got the grenade launcher in hand as well, which means Bloody Heads are at the brink of annihilation. Cryfu tries to manage the blue zone for himself. DCOS will be able to catch a player out of sight. McRory knocks Shook out of the equation. Tactical Index makes their way out of this game, and Bloody Heads get eliminated by auto knockout. That was not a fight that they should have been taking, but they were just out of options. The zone is just like that, and if Bloody Heads themselves couldn't do it, there's no way for X-Men Expert would have been able to pull that off. SAF now taking this fight up against auto knockout. DCOS on the ground. SAF looking for yet another booyah, and it looks like they may be able to score this, but Daymoon gets knocked down onto the ground, but it's going to be way too easy of a pickup for Let's Go as well as Daymoon. They are going to go in here for the push. The MVP, McRory, still alive and kicking. Auto knockout looking for the booyah, but I think it's going to be absolutely impossible. Backstab. McRory still alive and kicking. And SAF, they bag that second booyah.
Man, McRory is just made out of metal. He could have just lost that gunfight so easily, but the shots were just too fast for them. And look at the happy face, and then look at that lovely lady on the lower right corner. Wow, the teenagers. Look at the faces of our players right now. They're absolutely ecstatic. And that's what I like to see from SAF. They're not taking ish from any team.
SAF says that I kissed a girl and I liked it, and I also got the booyah. I loved it. Let's bring back our host, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Daddy, as well as Hollow. Welcome back, guys.
I'm judging all of you because of these references. It's actually killing me.
You like it.
But you got it. You got
I
it.
do like it. You actually like it.
No, I'm actually cringing every time it happens. Anyway, it's just okay. So,
you
SA
need more joy in your life, then.
Amen, brother.
Joy,
Amen.
But the thing that gives me the most joy in my life is also giving me a lot of misery too. So I want to go back to my happy place, which is some Free Fire.
Fair enough.
SAF, normal shenanigans. I think everyone kind of expected them to take that game, especially with the number of players that they had going into the late game. But this really sucks for the other teams, because essentially what SAF is doing is that they're already leading by a significant number of points. They actually don't need these points.
They don't.
But they are hogging all of these points from the other teams, right?
Yeah.
So I think everyone was just thinking, oh, SAF stole the points. But then now we have to take into consideration what teams suffered because SAF stole the booyah points and also got a fair number of kills under their belt.
Yeah, you guys were talking a little bit about Monopoly earlier today, and Monopoly was a game that was actually created to show children how it's really, really bad to have one person control the whole economy, one person to be the richest one on the board. But it ended up being one of the most famous games in the world, and it looks like the side of Supreme Assault Forces, SAF, are looking for the exact same title, the best team in the world.
I think he fell for the marketing. I think the game was made to break friendships. Not really play with friends. You know, play with people that you don't want to be friends with in the future.
And SAF is breaking hearts, Holla. I mean, look at their performance in here, man. Literally, like Danny said, right? She took the words out of my mouth. They don't need the points, but yet they bag the points.
Yeah, they're very selfish. And I mean, but the thing is that their playstyle was that they just stood in a little shack for about 17 minutes. They didn't get any single kills. They didn't go aggressive. They didn't do anything. They were like, we don't have to do anything. We just need to survive. And once there was the last 4 teams, then they're like, okay, maybe we should go outside, see what there is. And they found sunlight. They found a couple of enemy teams, and they just end up cleaning it up. They were pretty much the janitors.
Absolute brain plays. Beef, we've seen it in Battle Royales in the past so many a times, and in Free Fire, that's the way you play it, Beef. You are patient, you get the kills in the final zone.
That is the SAF that we know. That is the gameplay that they usually play in that late game half. The second half is where they actually usually thrive. And it's to go in for the aggression in the first half. That's when they kind of falter. So they played it here, as per usual, classic SAF to actually go in there for the booyah. Not only that, so many kills as well, but right below, I mean, Danny, Bloody Head, without a doubt, they've been impressive here so far.
I think it's AJ's, I wouldn't say curse, it's more of AJ's blessing starting to actually kick in, right? Because Bloody Head struggled for the first half of the season, but I'm really happy to see that this team actually starting to make a really strong case for themselves to say that, okay, we're not this rubbish team that's going to be stuck at the bottom of the bracket. We're going to prove ourselves, and they've gotten better and better and better with every single round. So Bloody Head, they're starting to make the climb, but we have to also talk about some of these teams that are slowly starting to fall off. And I think the biggest culprit for this currently is, if we take a look at the bottom right now, Metrics. They really needed these points.
Yeah, they needed the points. They needed the points from the start of the day. Do Easy unnerved them. And Metrics, it's not just this week, right? Even last week, we saw them losing their stride a little by little. But it's the plague of the bad C word for, the bottom half of the leaderboards, right? The consistency just does not seem to be coming through. But once in a while, they hit these amazing strides. And it's so important to continue that sort of momentum all the way through. And that's exactly what a team like Bloody Head has managed to do in here for themselves today. That's exactly what Do Easy has managed to secure for themselves in here today. But that's the end of the road for them. They won't really be able to show us any more of the supremacy until next week. And hopefully we see that bad C word hauler.
Hey, wait, we still have tomorrow. Okay, it's just Saturday. Calm down.
I have been casting back-to-back every single day. I do not remember what day, or I don't know the date. I look at my calendar. I got a job today.
Yeah, but I mean, but time is an issue, right? I think at the end of the day, these teams really need to pick up. They don't really. I mean, Team B is going to go home now. They've played all their matches for today. It's going to be Group A versus C. That one's going to be coming up. So they at least there's a little bit of hope, at least for the bottom end for those guys. But in terms of they're running out of time, right? There's like literally 3 more play days after today. So we're gonna have to see who ends up being the dark horse, who can actually pick things up and get to the next level.
Absolutely. Now, we do need to apologize to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We've lost the Beef Mommy connection, but we are trying to reestablish it. But in the meantime, Danny, Holler, as well as Mustachio here to entertain you guys with all of our ramblings as well as our disagreements sometimes. And we have Beef right back together with us. Beef, what did you think of that matchup?
That was just absolutely crazy. I have no words for it. And the fact that the team that we really like to see, I mean, we're not going to be talking about SAF anymore, right? It's all about Bloody Heads. They have such an amazing strategy for that particular round, and that might actually go and bump them up even more, maybe even past tactical index, maybe. And you know what? It's the climb. It's the climb that they've been trying to put out. And I already know from Holler that we're trying to see another artist because we're running out of Katy Perry songs now.
That's my biggest struggle, actually. It's not the analysis of the games. It's actually just trying to find out any of the songs that haven't been hit, because I think we've hit almost all of them. So we're struggling for that. I think we're going to have to keep this going. Maybe throw out another artist out there. Let us know in the comments what you want, and stop asking for codes, and let's talk about music artists at this point.
Because the codes will come. Those crates will be given, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If there's one thing for sure, Free Fire, Garena, they know. On a weekly basis, those codes will be dished out. But going back to what Beef said, Bloody Head's amazing place. Whether they can take over Tactical Intex's spot, a little bit too far, because Tactical Intex has been so good the past few weeks. Even today, Tactical Intex was good. They're not really at the bottom half of the, each and every single lobby leaderboard. So I think they should be able to maintain their lead. The greatest question here is, can Bloody Head perhaps maintain their position? Because the points between Bloody Heads as well as the teams below them is like, what, a differential of 5, 6, 7? One match can turn things around for Bloody Heads, and they cannot, they can't rest, bro. They just cannot rest.
Yeah. I mean, top 8 have kind of been set up in stone or whatever. It's about 20 points or so from Bloody Head in that next little tier. Bloody Head, Woos, and Freedom Rumble, Do Easy. These are teams that are very close. They're going to have to go into that. But we're going to find out what's going on. We're going to take a little bit of a break before we go into Group A versus Group C. We'll be right back.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
they got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, PXG Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Matrix eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe that they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past this street, you gotta pay the fine.
Is at a very prime position, but then IPAN already having that triple kill is going to be very impressive. They need to really just approach this very smartly. Eliminated with a triple kill.
Insects right here, the good accuracy. Oh, we have the pet blocking the position right now, and I hate that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, that freaking fiery monkey blocks my view, bro. Dude, that's the first time I'm seeing a pet just throw a couple, just some sand in the eyes of their owner, bro. That's unfortunate, nephew.
Hey, yo, Moco.
What up, Shiro?
About that time.
Let's get him.
To the max, to the max, to the max, to the max.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
To the front, to the back, to the front, to the back.
I'ma take it to the max, I'ma take it to you.
Hi folks, welcome back to the MCP Majors. It is week 5 and the teams are rushing for those points because they're running out of time to try and make it to that top 12. And Paula, I know that we've been looking for these standings. They're ready. Let's take a look and see where everyone is at.
Yeah, and if we're looking at this one, it's going to be PXG Radicals and Fast Kill Malaysia, top 3, lining it up with Supreme Assault Forces. They're all just, these are the teams that are on top. You can't really stop them. They're going to continue to climb, and they're going to keep on going. Whereas if you're looking at the bottom, which is where I think things are a little bit more interesting, we're going to see what? Woos play here. They played with 10th. They haven't had the greatest of days thus far, but, with Freedom Rumble, Do Easy kind of picking things up, it's going to make things very difficult for them going into this match 5 today.
Yeah. And of course, Metrics, 13th spot. These guys are a little bit sad. They've got quite a ways away to catch up to Do Easy, which I have to say, Do Easy, beautiful day for the team today. I don't think we have seen the team play this good thus far. This is their best day, easily.
Mm-hmm. Easily. And we were quite impressed, right? We had Cry-Fu. I always get him confused with like Kung Fu, whatever. But, Cry-Fu was just picking it up. He had a ton of kills today. That guy was just, give him the MVP, at least for the team. He really picked it up for his team. Made sure that they had a good chance going into today because they really needed as many points as possible. Because we're going to be going into Kalahari soon. This is going to be A versus E. It's going to be our last matchup of the day. Now, Kalahari, I know it's your favorite. What about it what is it that you like about it?
So Kalahari, I feel it's the most different out of all the maps. Bermuda and Purgatory, they're fairly similar, whereas Kalahari, firstly, it's the largest map in the game. You've got a lot of room to work with, but with a lot of that room, you don't actually have that much cover. It's a very open map. You also have to worry about a lot of the vertical cliffs where teams can basically gatekeep the inner circle where teams are trying to rush in. And because you don't have a lot of cover to work with, a lot of Kalahari is based on your positioning, right? Being in a favorable position, being able to pick people off, but also being able to watch your own back so that people don't snipe you in the back of the head. So the gameplay on Kalahari, it's just so different compared to the other maps because this is more along the lines of sniping, whereas I feel Purgatory and Bermuda, a lot of it is that close quarter combat because everyone's just fighting within all these compounds.
Okay, so we're going to find out what's going to happen in match 5. This is Group A versus Group C. Take it like a wrecking ball. Beef Mommy and AJ, take it away.
I'll take it like a wrecking ball. Yo, Beef.
And you already know it's going to be a party in the Kalahari just because of how heated things up is in this particular map. And it's going to be do or die here, like we keep saying in the past few moments. Kalahari is definitely going to be that map where one small mistake can be dead. That high ground.
And none of the teams thus far looking like they want to share the drop zones. Cannot Brain moving away from views. Great decision. Auto Knockout as well as PXG potentially might share a zone. Blacklist International moving in towards Bayfront. Auto Knockout will be able to push on into Council Hall, and Confinement will be the place where PXG drops in to rest and loot up. For the time being, this is going to be a slow start unless the player from views catches a sight of the player from Blacklist International, and a early skirmish kicks off in here from the corner of Refinery. Views is playing with fire with the way they have spread out there on the field beat.
I know, like, I've been looking at them, it's like they are so spread out, but it's a good thing for them because no one's actually going to be right in the middle of it. So, you know what? Really just going in there for Refinery is going to be a very smart just usually get to see a lot of these teams drop there, but it's really surprising that no one really wants to touch it. Knowing very well that a lot of teams drop in there, they just had the mentality, okay, you know what, we don't want anything to do with Refinery, and Wheels just took advantage of that. They're sprawled out like that because they want to survey the area, they want to know if it's safe or not, for them to actually go in for the defense there. That is probably going to be best for them. It's just to stay in Refinery, get that high ground, and really just eliminate all of the teams that really just to push in.
Well, let's see if or not they can do exactly that. ITX, one of the teams that are, not very pressured in the overall scheme of things of losing their top 12 position. They can continue to work on all of their strategy as they have been doing for a while now. We saw that Tactical Intex were very, very aggressive the past, I think, 2 to 3 weeks, and then they kind of just slowed down their pace. Amazing plays coming out from a squad like that. I cannot wait to see what they can bring in at the grand finals. And that's the best part about the MCP majors. Yes, we do see the teams at the lower half now having that fire, trying to climb up, but as for the other teams who are already up there very comfortable, instead of going out and continuously looking like what SAF is doing, they are working on these different strategies. They are trying to figure out, okay, fine, SAF, they are super good, they are super strong, but what sort of a strategy can we pull off in here and catch them off guard at the grand finals? Because regardless of whatever you do at the league stages, even the team that is in the 12th position can touch that number 1 spot at the grand finals, as long as the strategy as well as the mechanical plays are absolutely perfect, because those 6 rounds will decide everything, Beef.
Yeah, what they do now may not matter for the teams that are very comfortable at the top, just because, speaking of, that's not going to be something that... One by one already, they are going to be dropping life flies, and it's going to be Type 64 that's going to be in quite the ruckus.
Nice.
One man already going down, Zeth already losing 2 players so early on, and ITX really want to go up the ranks. And just like that, it's be very, very well that one more person is going to be the only one left for them to go in and maybe even have a shot of placing in this Kalahari map.
Yeah, mathematics, right? You just need to know your angles. You need to know exactly how you can take some of these fights. And I feel like the movement from Zapnu is just absolutely perfect. He knows that Trix was just behind him, taking the shot from the right-hand side angle. And glue walls being used by his opponent. As long as Zapnu gets the angle from the left-hand side, he knows he will be able to go in for the pinch. And he gets a very, very easy knock. Perfect plays coming through from Tactical Intex. And that's exactly what they are. They live through and they live true to their names. Absolutely tactical. And now Blacklist International going in to catch Auto Knockout off guard here. Man flank with the flanks that he usually pulls into these games should be able to punish Auto Knockout if he goes in for that shot. But Blacklist International themselves, they have been playing these games really, really carefully in the weeks of past as well, Beef.
Blacklist International has been struggling here, and yes, they did so well in Kalahari, but again, a lot of things have changed already for a lot of these teams. ITX have been having a really great time ever since that last matchup, so Blacklist International need to be a little bit more careful just because of the really aggressive pushes that they really put themselves in.
Yeah.
And that was a really good thing that they didn't really just engage there, just because just like that, it will be very hard for them to really go in for the comeback. And
Yeah.
here we go. It's going to be very slow for them yet again. As we see here, the team is actually going to be going in there for the exit. So Blacklist International is going to be safe for now in Bayfront. They need to go and maybe just like take a look at what they have right now. They have the utilities to actually go in there, but the lack of the grenades, maybe that's the reason why that they didn't push out. So that's going to be very smart for them to not really engage.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the grand finals and watching Blacklist International play on that day, because I want to know for myself whether or not they are hiding strats, or is this just their weakness showing? Because ever since they have gotten acquired from the MCP Major Season 1, a lot of things have changed in this squad, right? And it just makes me question whether or not it is the change of leadership, whether or not, the captain of the team seems to be going with a different angle, or maybe the captain of the team does not have the opportunity to pull his angles in here anymore. Because once again, when they used to be under a different name, under a different brand, they were a little bit more aggressive. Now, the tactical Blacklist International, I'm not digging it. Not digging it at all.
We're not seeing it here today, but I think we keep saying this, right? It's because they're probably hiding whatever they have under their belt and saving
Maybe.
it for the league stages.
Yeah.
I feel like the top teams, that's the reason why they're just giving it to the teams. And this is the camaraderie that we really... giving a chance for the teams at the bottom really just struggling to give that. If they're doing it on purpose, I'm not quite sure. At this point, maybe they're just playing with their food. Maybe they're just trying to try out strategies to maybe use at the very end with those 6 matches that they will eventually go to. AKO Legends, they're at a very comfortable spot yet again with Blacklist, and these two teams are just going to be absolutely just passive.
Well, Manflank, he will be holding on to a corner of this compound together with Cobra. They are trying to spot out auto knockout, but I don't think they are looking at the right angle here. Rosso X as well as Nga from the back, they should be able to ask these big questions from the side of Blacklist International. And I feel like auto knockout overall has just been, that one team which has been so equal in comparison when, you pitch them up against Blacklist International. And now, I Cannot Brain taking on the fight against Umbrella Reborn. But this is not going to be an easy one. But if Umbrella Reborn can take that high ground and toss a couple of nades in here, just like what Almighty sees from the side of 4X-Men Expert, things can turn around. And now Batman goes in for yet another nade. Goku's not going to get taken down. Jay-Z manages to knock Rybel onto the ground. 4X-Men Expert now getting some questions asked, some really tough questions asked by the side of Almighty.
Almighty is going to be in a very prime spot as they can actually go and gatekeep for X-Men Expert. It's going to be very hard for them as the broken walls right now is not going to be much of an help, especially going in for the defense. But then Batman is going to be pushing in, going to be applying that pressure. That's going to be very hard for X-Men Expert as one person is going to be going down. Rybel already slowly but surely. Almighty, the very early gameplay that they usually go and win, and they seem to be like they want to eliminate X-Men Expert.
Yeah, I love this plays coming through from both of these squads. Beautiful play from Almighty Batman with a finisher on the nade, and they should be able to move on straight through. Once again, for X-Men Expert, they are not playing their usual self. They don't need to play their usual self. We know exactly where they will be able to shine. But even if 4X-Men Expert was on their best of gameplays, I think they might have still fallen to this side of Almighty, right? I absolutely love it when they are on form. A couple of silly mistakes we've seen them make in those early weeks, but none of those weaknesses in display here now, Beef.
Absolutely. There are no weaknesses right now for Almighty. They've been doing so well here. And yes, they're not getting any booyahs, but then they're placing themselves high enough and getting so many kills. As per usual, we get to see that a lot. But then right away from the map, we can see a lot of kills already coming in from the side of Blacklist International, doing such a good job already. And Kalahari, you know, it's going to be their playground, so without a doubt, they will definitely deliver that. And we can see here 3 teams already in the mix. Blacklist International really want to get a mix of this ITX as well. And there you go. It's going to be getting big kills already.
Yeah, and auto knockout's going to be the biggest winner from this equation because as Blacklist International knocks down the players from ITX, AKO should be able to go in there for the snuff, but auto knockout in an equal sticky situation as well. Decos, Rosso X as well as Nga trying to take the fight back up against Blacklist International, and now this has just turned out into a situation where Umbrella Reborn can maybe make a push straight through and take a backstab on the side of Blacklist International. It will all depend on whether or not they do have got the guts to take such a risky maneuver. Going in for the snuff on Blacklist International is definitely not going to be easy. Now, on that note, Views will be able to close the gap between themselves as well as auto knockout, and they ever so slowly move on forth. Let's see exactly what they'll be able to pull off here.
This is going to be very hard for Blacklist International. Why? Because the circle is going to be closing in eventually. And they have 2 teams to just go and greet them. So they need to move fast. Umbrella and AKO, they were supposed to be there. Yes, actually go and gatekeep. But let's see how strong Umbrella can actually go in there. Knowing very well there's going to be a lot of squads just surrounding them. But, oh, here we go. The circle may just have saved Blacklist International. As instead of going into the north side of the map, they're actually going to be going into southwest. And there you go, that could have been that gate cap and really just eliminated. But you know what? That's not going to be the case as the RNG gods seem to be like Blacklist is in their favor.
Well, Team Fastkill now, Council Hall, they need to start moving. They do not have a great position here. 29 seconds. I guess that's enough time. They do have 2 vehicles on them. Team Fastkill, we've seen the weakness of this squad in the past where they've gone out with those vehicles hunting for kills. Hopefully this time around, they use those vehicles to instead hunt for a safer zone for them to find a little bit of cover. Now, a lot of gunshots I can hear, but I just do not see exactly where the team is who's taking all of those spot shots. PXG, auto knockout still sharing this compound together with Views, and Z Squad gonna be dropping in beside them as well. This is just pandemonium as 10 squads try to squeeze in to the 4th zone beef.
4th zone already in our midst, and everyone just has to push in like a can of sardines, and PXG Radicals is going to be in the thick of it, right smack dab in the middle of the map, and they're going to be comfortable, especially with a compound that's just having them for that defense.
Let's see if or not they will be able to pull this off. Auto knockout now getting knocked one by one. PXG should be able to take this, but now Views, they will be able to pull this distraction that PXG has now blessed them with, and they will be able to go in for the snuff onto auto knockout, but they don't take that advantage, B.
They don't take the advantage of actually going in there for the kills. Now that is going to be opportunity wasted for them, and they will pay the price at the very end once the circle does close. Oh no, Umbrella Reborn is going to be having such a hard time, especially PXG Radicals have their sights on them. Not only that, another squad is going to be right below them. It's going to be Wheels already. But no, just like that, AKO is actually going to be able to go in for the kill, eliminating them so early on.
Oh, auto knockout. What steady pace they hold for themselves. The only one, taken away from their squad was taken. I believe I got that mixed up a little bit earlier on. PXG might have been able to go in for that snuff, but Views with the perfect opportunity, they didn't manage to bag it at all. But now, AKO, they've wasted too much of time. 10 more seconds. They need to move on in towards that zone, and PXG should be able to gatekeep each and every single one of them.
Gatekeeping here is going to be the name of the game, and PXG Radicals is going to be king. AKO need to make a move, or else they will definitely have a very, very hard time, as PXG Radicals is a team that you don't want to mess with. It's going to be so hard for them just because one more squad is going to be... That squad already eliminated, but it's okay because it's only one person left for his team. But AKO actually have a chance to go in there. One grenade can actually make a difference and really just take off PXG Radicals.
Oh, Decos managing to pick Rosso X up. Beautiful play. And now PXG. Dynamo did not take advantage with his strip mine there that managed to get a knock. But they are in here with a full squad. Blacklist International making the exit right back into the lobby. Umbrella Reborn falling right back behind them. Auto knockout should be able to move on to the 2nd floor now. But with a nade onto Anga, He needs to be very, very patient. Ramiel with the god nade that this guy plays. This should just be a easy win for PXG. ITX from afar. FSK trying to knock them down. But ITX, they do have the advantage in terms of the position on the map. They do have that vertical advantage that we always talk about. Easier to look down than it is to look up, Beef.
The only problem for them is that they have to go and push into the circle, so they need to time this right. If they get enough kills before the circle actually closes in, they can really rack up the points. And then after that, go in for the push, going inside of the circle. And ITX seem to be like they are poised in position to really just go in there for the win. But Rendo with the triple kill is not going to help the cause.
Shot just blocking himself in with those glue walls because he knows that Arons is right there behind him. Beautiful movements. But now this guy is playing with fire. Time Turner getting popped out as well. Zapnu right in front of him. Is Shot going to be able to catch up with his team member? Those glue walls being popped out, but Shot gets taken out from the back. Zapnu, will he be able to recover? No. The answer is no as his team member gets snuffed out. The delete comes through. And now Fastkill MY make their way back out into the lobby as well. ITX trying to get a position here for themselves as Auto Knockout gets eliminated from this mix. ITX making their move in. PXG right in front. Almighty with their members still alive and kicking in here. They should not be able to pick this Booyah up, but picking those placement points more than enough, Beef.
PXG was actually in trouble there, but then Zapnu was not able to capitalize with that grenade knockdown. Should have went in there more aggressively and really just picked up a lot of these kills. But then here we go. Tanamo and Ramiel going to be the only people left for their team to actually make a difference as two squads already left in here. And just like that, so fast, we finally get to see the first Booyah of the day from PXG Radicals. They've been struggling here so far, but no, not today in Kalahari.
Oh, not at all. I really love the play coming through from Almighty. Batman managing to pick 2 kill points away before getting taken down. And I feel like that's exactly what Batman is all about, right? He is the guy who can play those clutch moments, those clutch situations, and he gets those kills in time before getting taken down. It was the inevitable 4-on-1 situation and still picking 2 kills off. Absolute respect to Batman as well as the Almighty squad. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on that note, let's bring our amazing host right back in here.
Wow, what a round. I was quite surprised at the number of teams that managed to survive for so long before Mayhem literally broke loose because there was just no map. There was no enough map for the number of teams that were alive.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a little worrying for some of those teams. Like Black, very underwhelming performance. They were eliminated 8th. We saw that Woos, I think they're kind of on the edge of midnight in the sense that these guys are, the daylight that they have is going to be closing on them. They need to really pick things up. And losing that 12th spot, it could definitely happen. So those are the bottom teams that really kind of stuck out to me a little bit as just not being able to pick it up on this one. Kalahari was just a rough map for these guys.
Yeah, I think in general, Kalahari is just a map that a few teams specialize on. Because you can tell by how some of these teams play, they're just not very comfortable playing on Kalahari at all. Because there's almost too much to worry about compared to the other 2 maps, right? Because you have to worry about the high ground, you have to worry about the lack of cover, you have to have the foresight to position yourself so that, as we saw during that final circle, did you see the massive gap in the center of that circle? There was practically no cover, so you had to plan out your glue walls before you went into that final circle. So I think with PXG, they were happy. They had all 4 members alive, which means they had plenty of glue walls at their disposal, whereas everyone else, with hardly anyone left, you're working with limited resources.
Struggling with it. But, Almighty, I think that, AJ, you picked up a good point in the sense of Batman with his utility, right? He's got his toolkit, his tool belt with him, and he's got all sorts of goodies in there, and Batman really just being able to pick it up. But Almighty just kind of snuck out the 2nd place. I think that was a pretty good showing for them. They've been consistently in the past, so this is a good showing for them to continue that momentum. They need to really pick it up. Blacklist and International, I talked about these guys before, but man, they're just kind of falling down. I don't know if they're saving strats, but I feel like this is not the time to be messing around.
Yeah.
Actually, that is true, right? Because you still want to make it up there because it comes at a cost every time you're dropping out in these matches. You're missing out on points. You could be losing out on hell. Some people would just think, oh, it's just 200 USD as you go down. But at the end of the day, we don't even know what these teams are going to place when they make it to the final round. So you could be saving strats, but then what if you end up 12th during the final round? Then you've probably missed out on a couple $100.
Yeah, and it's going to be very worrying. Like 4X-Men Expert, like what happened to this team? AJ, do you even remember 4X-Men Expert dropping in?
Yeah, like I said, man, they are not trying to go in there for the victory. For X-Men Expert, they are focused on practicing and pulling off a few of those strategy. They know that this is their... Dude, how often, Holler, do you get to drop into a lobby with all of these top dogs and try cheeky cheese strats on them?
Yeah, it's very few.
Yeah, you don't get those opportunities at all. And 4X-Men Expert making the most out of these opportunities. And I feel like they're going to be able to bring something very, very special into the grand finals. I'm not too fussed at all about how, they're performing, because it's very clear to see their intention with the way they move on that map, with the way they go in and engage in some of these gunfights as well. So I'm really, really interested to see exactly what's the idea behind here. But, to shine a little bit light onto Blacklist International, Holler, you're right. These boys are losing the shine, but they need to find it, man. I had a suspicion that it might have been, a tactic to hide the strats away, but it's starting to look like this team is slowly starting to crumble by the pressure. Now, what do you think about that, Danny?
I'm not sure if it's a case of the team crumbling under pressure. It could be maybe a fact that the team is just not comfortable with their grouping. I think realistically speaking, you just do not want to be in Blacklist's group, period. I mean, there are too many Apex Predators in their group alone. Then you throw in Group C into the mix, and then there's no prey left. I mean, who do you kill? You're basically fighting other Apex Predators. And it's a 50-50 matchup at that point, because both teams are going to be maybe not equally skilled, but the skill gap is very close.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
No disrespect to the groupings, to the teams at all. But, when Group A goes into the mix, Cannot Brain is there if you're looking for Veed. Z Squad, who have not been performing recently. Umbrella Reborn, who, just pulled that umbrella out on a rainy day. They showed us that they were very useful. But then after that 1 week, they just go missing all over again. These are the teams that, Blacklist International should be preying on. But they don't seem to be doing that. Initially, I thought they were really focusing on their positioning on that map. They were trying to avoid all of these gunfights. I thought it was tactical, but they don't even seem to be getting into that final zone. So I'm not... Like, how I can confidently say that 4X-Men Expert, they are playing some sort of cheese strat, I don't see that coming out of Blacklist International. What do you think, Beef?
Well, I feel like for the teams that are very comfortable at the top, I think they're just treating this competition so far, in this state in particular, as a scrimmage, as a way for them to just chill out, try different strategies, and hopefully it'll work out for them at the very end. Because, you really brought up a really good point, right? An opportunity to play with really amazing teams where you're very comfortable here at the top, so might as well kick it off and might as well just try plays that you haven't tried before, just because of how well these teams have been doing. So again, there's still a lot of things into consideration here, especially going into our last map here in Purgatory. So let's see if the Apex Predator are going to be playing with their food, or is it going to be the other way around, and it's going to be a 180 here for the teams in the bottom, really trying to climb up into the top.
Well, it's going to definitely be a heated matchup in here. Umbrella Reborn as well as Z Squad, they do share the drop zone at Forge. That's going to be very exciting. Tactical Intex together with Blacklist International, at the very least 2 of those players going to be taking on 4 players of Tactical Intex at the very same time. Z Squad now dropping Lavitz onto the ground, and they should be able to pick him right back up. But Umbrella Reborn, they will be able to pull the flank off in here. The question is, do they have enough loot on their side? iPans gets deleted. Beautiful recovery from the side of Zeth.
Oh, Zeth Squad already with a very interesting choice. It's going to be Type 64 that gets the first opening kill. And of course, though, we see here Almighty already taking the shots, and Wills already going to be in trouble. And you know what? I really want to talk about Wills. This is the team that shouldn't be having a very good time, or have not been getting a good time, just because of how much they've been losing in the past few rounds that we've seen. They're really just dropping off the map and really just going into the 10th spot. And And slowly but surely, you're going up against teams like Freedom Rumble and Do Easy and Metrics that are actually going in there for the kill. They were overtaken by Bloody Heads. And for every single day that you're here, you need to be improving. Instead, Wheels is just deteriorating.
Yeah, overall, I'm not super fussed about views. I know they have got so much of firepower in them in the form of Ambalore, the guy who just literally got deleted. And, they should be able to play a game of recovery perhaps when we come back in here tomorrow. Worst case scenario, views only needs 2 points to catch up with Bloody Head, the team that's not going to be playing in here anymore. I don't know if or not views managed to get a couple of kill points, but if they did, I guess that could be a little bit of that saving grace. And if they didn't, they're still not too far away from, continuing their rise back up to the top tomorrow, right? Today has been the day for Bloody Head. Maybe tomorrow we should be keeping our eyes out on for views. And I feel like that will most definitely be the situation. In Free Fire MCP Majors, the common trend that I've spotted is you will have one day of top dogs, you will have one day of all of those teams that I guess you wouldn't have pegged to make it through to the top 12 popping off in here as well, right? Today seems to be one of those days where it's pretty balanced. We see those underdogs making their way into that final circle, but the Booyah gets capped by teams like SAF. And I think that, as long as those underdogs can continuously make it into the final circle, that's all they need, Beef. The placement points are beautiful.
It is quite a beautiful scene to see all of these underdogs really perform, and that's why I really find this day to be very special, just because you see the hard work finally paying off. But hopefully they do get that in time, just because there's not much time left. But PXG Radicals, Supreme Assault Forces, they're just stopping the points really just going down, because they could have given it away, but they want to be greedy, and that's a really good strat to do. I mean, we are going into finally our final days to actually go in there to qualify, right? And these top teams could have given them the points, but you know what? If you're having a hard time now, you're gonna have an even harder time in the league stages. So they really want to give the points to the teams that actually deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. Umbrella Reborn running away from Blacklist International. Great idea. They don't want to lose more players. iPens was already, I guess, sacrificed enough early on. They did drop into the same zone together with Z Squad, and Z Squad actually managing to snuff out a player of theirs when I thought Umbrella Reborn was the one with the bet. Just like what I said earlier on, positioning is one thing. How's their loot, right? Because early engagements, you kill or be killed, and you have to really, really pray hard. Because the gods of RNG, if they are not kind to you, if your loot is not great the moment you land there, you might as well say bye-bye.
Bye-bye already to one member from Umbrella, and they're going to be 3 apiece. So that is going to be very hard, especially if you're going up against such strong forces and with them being always a full stack. So AKO, they're going to be chased right now, surprisingly, by Zeth Squad. Not quite sure if they're actually aware. Yes, I think they are aware. Raw sucks finally, and the vehicle is going to be stopped. 5-64 is going to be in a little bit of a pickle, as he is going to be absolutely ravaged right now, but was going to have that assist from far, far away. That's going to be very good for them. And Zeth Squad, they just put a death sentence on their head.
Yeah, too easy for the side of AKO. They should be able to take the victory very easily. But I like it. I like it as AKO plans to take the more serious engagements in that final circle. They will not go in for the chase. And instead, they might be able to find some victims in the name, in the t-shirts of that Blacklist International brand.
The black and white already so blaring right there. They don't even know what is going to be right in front of them. But then they're going to be doing a little bit of shopping here, so that's a really good thing, just because they need to bulk up once they do go inside the circle. So Blacklist International, very smart for them to actually try to go and push into the circle very early on. PXG Radicals and Almighty as well are going to be very early on. It's going to favor them so much. So that is going to be a very huge advantage, just because everyone else that's going to be in the outside of the zone will try to go and push in. Almighty will most definitely really want to have those early engagements. But you know what? Let's talk about a really special player that we really saw shine in that last matchup in Kalahari. Batman during a late game is going to be absolutely crazy. We've seen this guy take down 3 people and have a win for Almighty all by himself. So if you are going to be a team that's going to be going up against Almighty, get rid of Batman. I know they probably wouldn't know that, but you need to snuff this guy out just because of how well he can actually go and clutch up around.
Yeah, absolutely. I do not disagree with you. Batman is most definitely my personal MVP for the side of Almighty. The one behind him would probably have to be She-Ra, who's able to go in there and give Batman that backup that he requires, right? But we've seen some awkward plays from Batman as well. Remember the first matchup of the day where Batman, that little blind bat, wasn't using his supersonic. He just sat down on the roof.
Forget that, AJ, but thanks for reminding me again.
Probably taking a poop on the roof. I don't know what the guy was doing, but it wasn't a great play from him. It wasn't a great play by Almighty. But overall, in comparison to MCP Major Season 1 to Season 2, Almighty worlds apart in terms of where they used to be and where they are now. You give them one more season, we might just be looking at the next Kings.
The Kings that they need to earn, and it's in every single round that they will maybe prove themselves to be king. So speaking of another team that we just saw very briefly, Fast Kill MY is just going to be breezing through the coast, but we're going to be taking a look at 4 X-Men Expert right now, struggling to get a lot of kills so far and maybe even getting a Booyah and AKO Legend. They are going to be applying that pressure, and that's not going to be good for them. They need to keep up in this hill, and once they know that the information is in, they just need to go behind that wall, and if they do want to push up, they just need to wait, and hopefully they get pushed up by AKO.
Nice. Oh, beautiful hit markers coming out here for Goku, and he manages to go in for the knock on Taken, and the rest of the players from the side of Auto Knockout, they need to go and save Taken, but it's a little bit too late. Rybel should be able... Oh no, Goku actually snuffs him out, gets the delete onto him, and this is the opportunity for 4X-Men Expert now to pull a comeback in here, the greatest revenge. Rybel almost taken down, but manages to pull out the time turner as well as the double glue wall in the nick of time to save himself, goes in for that medkit use. Auto Knockout, they will be saved because Tactical Intex now comes in to put a little bit of pressure onto 4X-Men Expert, and they need to move
that easy, as a really big U-Haul truck in the form of the Tactical Intex team is going to be right there. But then applying pressure to them as well is going to be Goku, goes down, but then at the safety of this house. So the compound is definitely going to be very helpful for them. And Tactical Intex have no way of actually going protecting themselves but the glue walls. So that's going to be very tricky just because the snipers are going to be going in there. It's going to be paper thin.
Oh, well, unfortunate for Rybel. He gets snuffed out, just like we were, observing moments ago. 4X-Men Expert, there's a very slim chance that they're going to be able to get out of here alive and kicking. Blacklist International now going to come through and make it even more difficult for 4X-Men Expert. Or is this a blessing in disguise for 4X-Men Expert to actually take a 2-kill point before getting snuffed out by the side of Tactical Intex? On that note, Tactical Intex backs away from the situation, leaving a 2-on-2 for a 3-on-2 for X-Men Expert. Blacklist International, that fight not gonna happen, as well as Clanks, as well as Phoenix gets caught out. Time turner pulled out in the nick of time. Spade does not get the takedown, but they've already started the fight. 4X-Men Expert firing as they try to get away from this compound. They are actually leaving the next safe zone. 40 seconds. They are pulling a long flank through. Hopefully it works out for them, Beef.
Now, this is the experiment that 4X-Men Expert really wants to see if it's going to work out. The hypothesis, it needs to come through. But here we go. AKO throws the grenade. XVR Shiro is going to be going down without any help from his teammates. That is going to be impossible for them to go in for the pickup. But that is going to be very interesting. And just because you have one person there, it shouldn't stop you. But you already know those things are cursed. And one person going in there for the pickup. But then AKO needs to apply that pressure as well, because that could have been a really bad thing. Oh my goodness! There you go! We see Cannot Brain actually applying that pressure, and that's going to be the only person left. They pay the price for being too cocky.
Nice! Okay, Rosso X, one final player in here, will be able to pick Nga up, but here comes Arends. Oh, Arends, a little bit too cocky. Oh, he still manages to take down Rosso X, and Cannot Brain just knocks out AKO Legend back into the lobby. This is the final matchup on Kalahari, and Cannot Brain now trying to show us exactly what they are made of. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I need to add, they are 112 points away from the 12th position. No matter what Cannot Brain does, I believe squeezing into the top 12 might just be a little bit too late. But they still can make a name for themselves if they can manage to ruin a couple of chances here for those big teams.
big teams that are quite struggling that we've seen here so far. And yes, SAF probably had those 2 wins, but it's really the middle of the pack that we're actually having our sights on. Blacklist International with 2 players left, Phoenix and Clanks, are going to be surveying the area. They're going to be away from each other though, so that's going to be very difficult. If you are going to be just 2 people, you'd want to stay together just in case your teammate actually goes down, so you can go in there for the pickup. ITX though need to take advantage of the situation, but need to be very careful just because of how well Blacklist International can actually go in there and perform individually. So looking at the zone right now, that is not going to be nice for Blacklist International just because they have to cross the river and ITX is just right there sitting comfortably. And for the side of ITX, they need to just chill out. They need to make Blacklist go to them instead.
Yeah, and it's all a game of wait and see, because in a couple of moments we will see exactly where the next blue zone will be moving on to. Blacklist International will most definitely need to go in here for a swim, and just like you said, ITX will be able to gatekeep them to make sure nothing much gets pulled off by these boys in black and white. Clanks as well as Cobra, they will be trying to survive, as 4 X-Men Expert on the other hand will be taking a couple of shots up, and it looks like PXG are the ones who are going to be asking these questions from such a long distance away.
They can do it. That's the thing. PXG Radicals is just that cracked that they can go in there for the kill. Knowing very well there are 2 squads that are fighting each other right now. Umbrella, that is not going to be a spot that you would want to be in if you are going to be at the sides of PXG Radicals. They do back away, so that's a really good spot to be in. But then you can see here, PXG Radicals have 2 praise that can actually go in there for that hunger that they want for this win. Almighty and also another squad, maybe in the midst, right behind them. We don't quite see it just yet, but just having a little bit of a peek. So PXG Radicals, they're going to be at a really great position to gatekeep all the teams that really want to go in.
Yeah. Do you have a pick as to who do you think is going to pick the Booyah up this time around, Beef?
Oh, this is going to be difficult. I wish we could actually see all of the teams that are here so far, but PXG is looking solid so far, really into the positioning. They went in here early knowing very well the circle is going to be there, but at this point, they need to choose. Are they going to gatekeep, or are they going to prioritize that position, knowing very well that there's going to be another circle just like that? The 4th circle will ensue, but you know what? They still have a lot of time to really just pick up the points. The kills that they need to do. 3, maybe they need to go and pick up some more.
All right, let's see if or not PXG will be able to pick the Booyah up. Z Squad now taking the fight up against Cannot Brain. Blade gets deleted by 1. Beautiful plays by Cannot Brain back to back. Irons with the cook up on that nade should be able to ask questions. Blacklist International eliminated by the zone. Beautiful nade by Irons, but it does not connect with either Lavitz or Monarch. Monarch now getting pressured by the zone. Z Squad needs to move in here a little bit more. Almighty taking the fight up against Umbrella Reborn. Ren getting knocked down onto the ground and then deleted as well. PXG, Ramiel will be able to pull that fight up, and now PXG looking to get the snub onto the rest of the players of Almighty. Shira onto the ground. Barba will be putting in so much of pressure, but the glue walls will be able to make sure Almighty does not make that exit just yet. They will be choosing to move on towards Tactical Index instead, and if they can get there in time, Almighty will be able to take advantage of this fight the Tactical Index just has come out from. Triple kill by Zapnu, but it doesn't matter. Shira as well as Jay-Z trying to close this gap, but now Shira onto the ground. PXG should be able to eliminate Almighty, and they do that with a beautifully placed nade by Rabiel.
We've seen it already, and we were expecting that to happen. PXG Radicals were just patiently waiting for their next prey. And unfortunately for them, Almighty was actually there, and ITX also wanted a piece of the pie. But then, you see here, Fastkill is actually going to be in a really great position, but they should probably go into the circle. But you know what? It's going to be very hard just because of how open it's actually going to be. And so, again, it's going to be that cover that we'll take advantage of. But either they get a lot of these kills, which they probably should, just because you can see here, Cannot Brain is going to be right here, alive and kicking, but very well utilizing the fact that everyone's going to be so far away.
No, absolutely. Now, PXG definitely look like the favorites to pull the W in here. She-Wrote will go in for the delete onto Lavitz. Z Squad not having a great time. Thanamo managed... Oh, Thanamo back-to-back, man. He's so good with all of those strip mines. Yun pulls out the grenade launcher, will be able to go in for a knock, and then it comes through the delete as well. PXG manages to go in for the snuff. Tactical Intex gets eliminated. Thanamo as well as Barba gonna get picked up right back through, and PXG, can they survive all the way through to that final zone? Barba gets knocked down onto the ground again, but that's not going to be too much of an issue for PXG to deal with because they are so close to the next safe zone. But now in 33 seconds, they'll have to move on in here yet again, but it looks like the gods of RNG are on their side because look at how small that area is. That safe zone, the blue zone's going to be moving in very slowly, and that's going to give PXG enough time to squeeze on in and be in the contention for the booyah this time round B.
Pascal looking so strong, but with Shark going down, he is going to be able to go for the pickup though. His teammate is going to be able to go in there. Hanma, really important plays. You can see here, one little guy, Zeth squad. There's only one person left. You're really just waiting for all these teams to take each other out. So that's a really good play. And eventually you are going to be having either the 4th spot or the 3rd spot. And here we go. It's going to be Goku getting rid of Ali really quickly.
Oh,
3
nice.
people left for 4 X-Men. They could actually go and have a turnaround. Any of these teams can actually make it to the booyah.
Oh, beautiful. PXG still going through with those Kobe's. Ramiel, beautiful nade, and now Spade responding a little bit. And Tanamo gets the double delete. Ali and Hanma taken out of the equation. PXG going in for the snap onto 4X-Men X with Spade, the final player left in here. PXG, are they going to be able to get this done? Spade will be falling in a couple of seconds. Tries to stand up, but he gets eliminated as well. And now, the only 3 more teams left in the mix. Z Squad with Monarch, and right in front of him is going to be Team Fastkill, who gets eliminated. Yoon gets put out of his misery, and now it's just with Monarch. PXG, they should be able to secure this booyah for themselves, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Beef, it does not look like Monarch was that a huge chance.
Monarch played it so perfectly. Know very well he's going to be the only person left. Takes down 2! Finally can actually take 1 more, but then he's not going to be having a hard time just because there's 2 people left and no grenades to actually make a difference. If he actually plays this right, he can pick him off 1 by 1. I don't think they actually know where he is. And Monarch, really big plays. Well, there you go. That squad eliminated. But Monarch, really good plays. They're really impressive. He was the only one. But you know what? You asked me a while ago, who's the team that could actually get the booyah? It's PXG Radicals, who can actually go and make that difference. The plays, the rotations, and the gunfights, they're just winning it all today.
Absolutely, man. PXG finally managing to find a little bit of that strut as they try to catch up with SAF, who from the previous match they were about 105 points behind from. So I don't know, PXG, that fire needs to burn a little bit stronger, but even if it does, I don't know how much it can bring as long as they maintain that 2nd position for the grand finals playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on that note, let's bring Danny as well as Holler right back in here and find their thoughts on that match.
I want to say welcome back, 4X-Men. It's we've missed you. It's good to see that you're still in the race. I was actually a little bit worried about 4X-Men today. They didn't really poke their heads out until this final round.
Yeah, I mean, they got 4th. That's a pretty good showing for them. I think the biggest one was Seth, man. I mean, Monarch, just the end plays at the end. Like, there was no way he was going to win against 4, right? Yeah. But then that grenade happened, and then they got 2, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. But then that circle just kind of enclosed very quickly. Really no chance. There's no cover. It was wide out in the open, so kind of a rough break for him in the end. But PXG, man, these guys are looking very good. They're peaking at the right time.
They're trying to get their 1st place, Hauler. I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones. And they know that this is basically the race to the finish line. And if they keep playing like this, right? If they can maintain this for the remaining 12 games, I think there's a good chance that they could catch up to SAF, because SAF, their only good performances were their final 2 games, right? Their first 2 games of the day, it was as if you didn't even know SAF was playing in those 2 matches. So the possibility, I think, is there. PXG, they could contest SAF.
Yeah, we're going to have to see the end standings. I think that's the biggest one, because I think that they're still up by 70, 80 points or so. I mean, we're going to have to see the end total. But, I mean, if they can catch up, that would be the ultimate, comeback at this point. Because everyone thought that SAF were just on another level. There's no way of reaching those guys. But if anyone can, PXG, that's the way to do it with 2 booyahs in a row. So, I think, I'm hoping to see a dramatic finish. We're going to have to find out, though.
Speaking of some of these top-level teams, I'm a little bit concerned about AKO, right? We haven't really seen AKO stand out today. The team's sort of been under the radar, or I think some people would say that they're underperforming just because we're not really seeing the team make it to the end. Does anyone have anything that they might want to discuss when it comes to AKO? Like, what are you guys feeling for AKO today?
I disagree with the assessment. I think AKO is doing amazing. They're doing very well. They are, 3-5 points away from Fastkill, and Fastkill sitting down in the 3rd position. So, you are not going to be able to get in a spot like that if you're not consistently bringing in those great plays. They might not be picking those Booyahs up, but they are doing really well in terms of getting great placement points for themselves and making sure they get to that final zone, right? And I think as long as AKO can make sure they keep playing that sort of a strat, it's not going to be much of an issue. And consistency of getting those points is not something that they need to worry about that much.
But to Danny's point, I mean, this 10th place showing where you literally just got a kill and you're eliminated 10th here, Blacklist International with just a point themselves. I mean, this is, I think it's more worrying a Blacklist more than anything else. I think that we've seen very little from them today. I think that they really need to kind of just have that, that team meeting, figure out what's going on, because something's not right with these guys.
Yeah.
They are on the decline. They've been struggling since. I mean, yes, they're going to make the grand finale or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, it's all about momentum, making sure that you have that going into the grand finale as you have that final bet match, and then that you're very confident and you can trust your teammates. But what are your thoughts on that, Beef?
Well, you're absolutely right. Everyone's right when it comes to like a Blacklist International arming today, but AKO Legend, they actually are pretty impressive today. No, not going a lot of noise. They're just going to be quiet. Impressive to me because they're racking up the points. They're actually ranking up, as you can oversee here. AKO Legend overtaking Blacklist International is just absolutely crazy here, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting Blacklist to be able to maintain 2nd or even 3rd, but for them to drop to 5th, I think this is it just goes to show what happens to a team it just feels like, I don't know, their synergy is off. Something's just really off with this team, but I can't put my finger on it.
Can we just look at
I can put my finger on it, but I don't want to say it. The boys aren't going to be very happy. It's the new signing. Ever since Blacklist International, the brand itself stepped up. So something's changed. Once again, I don't know whether someone else is manning this team, guiding them with the strategy, but the strats that they used to pull in MCP Major Season 1, albeit the meta was a little bit different, but it was such a clear difference day and night in terms of aggression from the Blacklist International that we are getting a peek at right now. And they need to buck up, they need to change some stuff, because if they do not, it's not going to be tough at all for Almighty as well as 4X-Men Expert to catch up with them. Almighty is sitting, 7 points behind them? 4X-Men Expert sitting down 12 points behind them. Too easy to kick Blacklist International down.
I never expected Almighty to get this close to Blacklist because, just the way that these two teams started the season, the skill difference between these two teams was obvious, day and night. Blacklist, a completely superior team compared to Almighty. I'm very sorry to Almighty, but they were very underwhelming at the beginning of the season. Now these guys are coming back and Blacklist are the ones dropping? Excuse me, what's going on?
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go back to the bottom of the bracket because this is where the real race is. This is for the teams that are trying to make it to top 12. And Do Easy, they're making a very good stand for themselves. They're building up a sizable gap between them and Metrics. Of course, Metrics they were able to play because they already completed their matches today, but Do Easy, happy with themselves. Freedom Rumble have dropped to 11th under Bloody Head. What the hell?
Yeah, so Do Easy can't really rest well because we've got Metrics, we've got Argon MY, both of these teams literally just 20 plus points away. One really, really good, one great Booyah coming through from them should be able to, get them the exact number of points that's required to overtake Do Easy. Granted that Do Easy does not do great in that matchup as well. And we've seen Metrics, we've seen Argon MY go in and pick that Booyah. Metrics have picked far, but once again, Danny, it's all going to be going back to that C word, that very, very terrible C word that we always like to look out for.
Clowns? No, I'm just kidding. All right, consistency, of course, we know that. But you know what I mean? It's those three, the teams that we were seeing. Freedom Rumble, they picked it up their game. They got a lot of kills. They were very aggressive. Do Easy had another level, like these guys. I don't know who this Do Easy team was, but they showed up today. It was very different, right? But Metrics, on the other hand, they're on the decline. Argon didn't really have as great of a day that they should have had. But you know what I mean? Like, these guys are all in the running. It's not over. We have 3 more play days. So I'm very excited to see all of that. But in addition to what I'm excited about is the code right there below. You can claim that one in. Again, it's not a first come, first serve, but just anyone can redeem it. Just make sure that you do redeem it before the end of the stream. Spoiler alert, we might be ending the stream very soon, so timing is not on your side. Please do so, and please redeem it as quickly as possible.
Claim the code. That's what we're saying. Claim it now. Okay, not later, not 10 minutes later. Heaven forbid you try and claim it an hour later, okay? If it's expired, again, it's not our problem. It's free. You take what you get. Anyways, so we've finished up the day for today. We've just completed every team's 4 matches. So we're now down to 12 games before we have our deciding top 12. Are there any teams that are on the verge of elimination that we need to keep an eye on?
Yeah, Metrics, Argon, MY, Do Easy, Freedom Rumble, Bloody Head. These
That's too
teams,
many teams.
definitely.
No, but that's
Literally 5,
right?
Yeah, literally these 5 teams. The fight in the final 12 matches, in the final 12 rounds, in the final 3 days of the league stages, it's going to be between these 5 teams. I mean, once again, we are going to be seeing, the likes of SAF, PXG, once in a while, maybe if Blacklist International wakes up, they might be able to bag the Booyah up for themselves. AKO will step in. But these 5 squads, Danny, they are most definitely the ones we have to keep our eyes peeled for.
Anyone want to add, or are we good?
No, I think that we're going to find out tomorrow. I think Argon, Malaysia, if that gap from Metrics is just too much, or, the next team up, I think that, we're going to figure out which teams are eliminated. I think today's showing by Zeth, while they had a decent final one, I think that these guys are going to have a struggle. I don't know if they're mathematically they can get involved. Of course, well, we're going to have to find out as there's 3 more play days to go, but... Yeah. I am worried. They're definitely on the outside looking in, trying to find some. They need to capitalize on some sort of mistakes that the other teams are doing of those 5 teams that AJ had mentioned before.
Yeah. Beef, did you put your hand up? Just check.
Yes, ma'am. I feel like a student every time. Like what AJ said a while ago, I feel like, hi, ma'am, hi. So I would like to say something. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of these teams really need to have a good job in the next few days, especially if you are going at the 10th, going into probably the 14th spot. Zeth Squad, they have a long way to go if they really want to reach into that 12th spot, right? But a team that I really want to put a spotlight on is definitely Wills. They went down, and they went down hard. And you see Freedom Rumble, Do Easy, and Metrics just right around the corner. That is not a comfortable lead at all. So if I were Wheels, if you're going to be eliminated so early on in the matchups all the time, that is something that you want to change in the next 3 days, in the next 4 days, or maybe even the next weeks. You need to do your homework, because from the top, they've made it drop. And it's just so unfortunate to see such a talented team that we had such high hopes for, that had a lot of Booyahs. They have 4 Booyahs to their name. To really just drop off the map today, that is going to be, if you're going to give that chance, Freedom Rumble, Do Easy, and Metrics, they're going to get that so quickly.
Yeah, I cannot agree with you more. Views definitely one we need to keep our eyes peeled for as well. Beef, great spot there. But way too many of these teams have got so much on the table. If today the fire, in the belly was hot, bro, tomorrow it's going to be a raging inferno. And, tomorrow's excitement is going to be nothing in comparison to today as these teams continue to step it up. Because once again, the point differential between all of these teams, barely anything. One game can change things around.
And the teams only have, I think, 21 hours to prepare for their matchups tomorrow. That's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of time to go through the VODs, to figure out what the other teams are doing, to figure out what you're doing. It's such a short period of time. I'm really wondering what these teams are going to change up tomorrow, because you got to start changing now. You can't change next week, because that's going to be your remaining 8 games, and 8 games may not be enough to bring you up onto the leaderboard. But that, I believe that's going to be it for us. Any final words before we tap on out?
I've spoken enough. I've screamed enough. I've
I'm
laughed
preaching
enough.
We've referenced enough today, so I think that was a great
enough.
off with a big giant wrecking ball to just end the day.
Don't forget, guys, claim that code. Ask people in chat, because we're going to end the stream in just a moment. Thank you so much for tuning into the MCP Majors Season 2. This is week 5. We've got one more day tomorrow before we jump into week 6 next week. But until then, we'll see you tomorrow for our wonderful broadcast, same time like today. Until then, have a great day and happy Booyah!
Tonight, we were born for this fight. We'll be glorious tonight. We are champions. We'll be warriors tonight, and like warriors we'll fight. We'll be victorious tonight. We are champions. We were born for tonight. We were born for this fight. We'll be glorious tonight. We are champions. We'll be warriors tonight, and like warriors we'll fight. We'll be victorious tonight. We are champions.
Triple kill. Shut down. Quadruple kill. Quadruple kill.
They got distracted that easily and just don't think about those other teams who are around them. Now, PXD Radicals, oh, what a hit by Ramiel in there, taking down.
BR, it's a matter of time before they're out. So far, Batman has to train your 3-pointers. Yeah, got it.
Exactly what's happening. Insanity might be able to cook that nade up and get a couple of knocks for himself. Beautiful as he gets the knock onto Ali, but he doesn't get the kill just yet. Yoon gets taken down. Metrics eliminated now. And PXG eliminates Pascal MY.
The way from the Tigers, you best believe they're gonna try and chase you down and fight you. But Wills, they don't care. In fact, they back 4 for themselves. And AKO also suffered some casualties. Wills, they're the biggest winner. They are the gatekeepers. You want to get past the street, you gotta pay the fine.